Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back into it. Wallace, I'm gonna bite my thing again because I'm stupid and weird. What is it? Thanks, you're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks for all them drugs. There's one more obstacle we gotta get past. Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill the policewoman anyways? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Let's go to an investigation sequence. All we know is she's a student studying literature. Yeah, I saw that, Pika. One more thing. The incident that happened 5 years ago. Kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy's on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. Mr. Fellas, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Yeah, you already said that, Max Down. Okay. That day 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture reminds me of everything. Bridge looked the same just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart at any minute. Sorry, buddy. You sound like the one that could fall apart any minute. True, I did. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Your girlfriend, huh? Oh, did you say Hawthorne? Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister. Are you serious? Girl, let her go. Here's the scene we've already seen. Honestly, RoboCop is more likely, but if we continue the undead theming thing, which we keep doing, because there's so many undead leaning things in this series, I would go with the undead cyborg. What this back then was Valerie Hawthorne. There's no might, Pika. Some of them have already gotten it, as of now. First I thought the shooting someone and kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect a little sister, I can understand why she did it. No, protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betray us! Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping, too. Valerie, my girlfriend. My love. My teen angel. He's seen too many soap operas. He's also a moron. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. What do you mean? You're saying is the kidnapping was planned by, yeah, me and Dahlia, and Valerie, too. Dahlia's family's rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel? Well, that's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote the kidnap note, sent it to her dad. Asked for $2 million. Diamond. Tell her to make the exchange on Dusky Bridge. Yeah, I was trying not to think about that, mortal. Thanks. Although, if anything, that also kind of implies that she was a manipulative, evil witch when she was 14. Oh yeah, I have the audio set wrong because it's set up for board game night. Sorry, my bad. I hope you enjoy it, Pika. At this point, I barely remember anything about that one. Oh yeah, speaking of which, Your Honor, as a further case to why I should never do game ruminations again, I present today's rumination as evidence. Although, according to Shikor, a lot of my opinions are still the same, so... Oh. Anyways. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing. Yeah, tell me about it. Why don't we ask Gant about that? Who, at this point in history, was not yet police chief, I think. That woman. Hey, job. Valerie, she did it for real. She shot at me for real. Me and Dahlia. As I say, he was probably still teamed up with Lana at this point, at his investigation team. I was shot in the arm. Dahlia, she jumped in the river. mean she jumped on purpose, did you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with the police all over. That's when they decided to give you the death sentence. Couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. Oh, man, Terry Fallis. He killed her. He threw her off the bridge. Oh yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying RE3R. I think that's on the list somewhere. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. Good morning, the world's best pants. These 5 years, all I wonder is why? Why did she lie? That's all I wanted to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes. But I forgot what she looks like, so I told her to wear the scarf. I don't want to hurt her. I just ask why. I actually sympathize with that. I admit it's a weakness of mine that if someone does something horrible to hurt me, I want to know why. There are actually several instances in my life where someone has done something, you know, damaging or horrible or painful or whatever, with seemingly malicious intent, and I've never to this day actually figured out why. Right? Suppose you can imagine how much that bugs me, given my mindset. That's true. I'm just such a toxic person. And if I can be real for just a second, you know, I actually worry about that. My sister tells me I'm stupid for worrying about that. But I worry that I'm not a good person, or I worry that I'm not good enough, or I worry that I don't know what I'm like when I'm at my best. I've never been at my best. I've been at my worst. And I know what I'm like when I'm at my worst, but I've never been at my best, and I always worry, like, if I did win the lottery, would I be a good person? Like I said, my sister calls me stupid for it. Like, we had a conversation not even all that long ago at this point. This would have been last year. When, basically I was relating myself to someone in my family. He's dead now. But he was not a good person. He was a horrible human being. He's the only member of my whole family who was a bad person. Or, you know, like a legitimately bad person. And, you know, I have spent a decent chunk of my life hoping I never end up like him. She actually slapped me, like a light slap, you know, just blah. But she's like, just stop it, Laura. She didn't call me Laura, obviously. She's like, chill. You were nothing like him. Because she'd actually met him. See, I can't do that, Hazardous, because if I don't play the lottery, then I have nothing to live for. No hope. That's not true. I do have other methods to gain large amounts of money. Anyways. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to get real here. You can tell I'm tired. Yes, pyramid scheme. Secretly, any pyramid scheme you've ever heard of has come from me. The hell was I talking about? God. Why? That's right. That's what got me out of that. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? Just want to hear the answer from her mouth. Well, it's a little late now. Yes, I'm taking over the tender lender, and I'm secretly the Pharaohs. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are all tingling. Tell me, Mr. Fellas, where is it? Where's what? Come on now, kid. The ransom, the $2 million diamond. Remember that? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. No, really. I don't know. It's gone with Dahlia. Really? That day on the bridge. No, the Pyramid Schemes fund Operation Bellhammer. Yeah, I actually know that feeling, Blow Up Alex. I really do. It's okay, though, because I'm saying it's okay, though. In my case, I don't know that feeling anymore because, like I just said, he's not with us anymore. Yes, Crazy Norse. First 3 games are pretty clearly connected to each other. On into the Eagle River. Good morning, Ethel. Yeah, Diego's pretty cool. I like Diego. A lot better than I like his robot form. Come back in now. We're ready to go. Just tell us one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her. My sweet Dahlia. Swallowed by the river. God. You're a teenager. How old was she? 14. Which is pretty creepy, but let's not get into that right now. Plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the road with a rock worth $2 million. Angels these days. Paulus takes the fall and gets a one-way road to death row. I know, right, Crazy Norse? There's a reason I call that particular lorium the diamond industry. Training wheels come off now. You gotta strike while the iron is hot. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Fallis. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, I've recovered from my incredible evil. That would be nice, Pika. I'll try my best. Butterflies! God, you are so evil! You... Jesus Christ! You're a brave young lady. Like, we have someone who might be challenging frickin' Morgan and, Acro for the top slot here. Oh, and on guard. I can understand the defense will want to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander, that's all. The possible reason would a girl like this have had for murdering a policewoman? I would rather not, Jarvan. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence for motive? Yes, of course, I think. You're still acting tame as a kitten. The lawyer is someone who smiles, no matter how bad it gets. Really? Manfred, I don't think, is in the same league as the people I just mentioned. No. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you'd quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me, Mr. Judge. I'd like to say something. Some people are suspicious of me here. That's why I wanted you, Judge, to know that it's not true. Such an honest and upstanding young lady. Jesus Christ. Look at her. Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for a click, she lights right up. Ugh, she disgusts me. Like, all joking aside for a moment. She disgusts me. I was out of the country until the year before last. Till I entered college, I had never been to Eagle Mountain before. Certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing that officer who testified against you 2 years ago. Kidnapping a poor girl, I think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. You'd know. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Here's you up to bat. Sharpen the claws and put on your best smile. Somehow I have to tire to this case. You're right, Chapin. She's not wrong. Save. I was out of country until the year before last. It's my Canadian brother, Geluto. So what country are we living in then? We're abroad. It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. So she was staying in Spain? I lost everything. I didn't even have personal identification. Should I do? No. Desert College. I'd never even been to Eagle Mountain before. Yeah, Pearl is adorable and not a horrible human being. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors, picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of some sorts. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here and no trains to run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Yes, Shikar. Yes, I'm aware, Pika. I in fact plan to cover that story in more detail during my coming lore week. By the way, what's the name of your college? Prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's personal life. All that matters is she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you, she's really gone too far! Where's my gun? So you're treading on thin ice here. Perhaps, but your behavior that day is very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself in court, you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches in the trunk of the car. But that's... Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Why is that? The witness came to the police station and wants to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that at that time, an officer showed her this photo. It's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. Wicked inmate. I'll never be able to forget that horrible day. God, I want to slug Edgeworth too while we're on. I just want to slug everyone. Let's just get a punching spree going. Not Mia. Or Armando. They're both cool. But everyone else is getting a punching spree. Just wind up the pain train. A grudge? Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, that's precisely why I harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful, your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, he forgot a poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client? He forgot what the detective looked like, right? I know, Blue Felix, and that's why he needs a slug! See, I'm not shooting him, because he's gonna get better, and we know he's gonna get better. He just needs, like, a nice smack in the face to wake him up, you know? Then we shoot her. Press harder. You said you forgot what the detective looked like. What do you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Yeah, I know, right, Max Time? Newspaper or bat? For Edgeworth, let's give him the newspaper. For the judge gets the bat. Quite right, that's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I'd been wearing a white scarf that day, he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true, he's clearly a bitter, horrible man. Where's my bat? Pong! No, I've got it. I'll hit you with the flat side of Frostborn. That is a heavy sword. That will hurt like hell. Wonk! Have it added to the testimony. Your Honor, what the witness just said was tremendously important. I'd like to add it to the official testimony. You know, that's true, Baron. On Guard kind of puts us onto Dahlia. That and the fact that she looks like an alien freak. Remember the first thing I said when I saw her was just, what is that? Because she looks so... Ugh. Cool, Dakota. I guess we'll see when we get there. After all, the defendant is a killer and mentally unbalanced one. That testimony only further proves the point. Enough. Witness, please add it to your testimony. Guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. So, you mean this one, right? Witness, I want you to take look at this photograph. God, they keep saying that. It's hard to see in this photo, but look at the scarf the victim wore as identification. Ah, you're talking about this scarf right here, right? Yes, that's it. Now the scarf the policewoman was wearing. I know, right, mortal? But that's strange. In your testimony, you stated the following. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. This is the scarf you identified as belonging to the victim. It doesn't look white to me. It was foggy that day, and raining as well. It's not surprising she mistook it for white. Dude, I have color blindness issues, and even I could see immediately that that is not blue, or excuse me, not white. Hell, I could even tell the German flag earlier. I don't think we got that in the highlights, so you're just going to have been there to get that joke. The witness just confirmed this is the victim's scarf. It's true the scarf doesn't look white, but there's only one explanation for this mix-up. Because she was aware of the note, which specifically says, white scarf. Witness, have you ever seen this note? No, of course not. I'm super innocent. It's top secret evidence. There's no reason you would have. I wonder about that. What do you mean? This note shows Mr. Follis's instructions to the victim regarding their meeting. It says, wear white scarf for identification. Witness, you knew what this note said. And it's because you knew and you slipped up and mistakenly said white scarf. No. Oh, not yet. Well, Miss Foster. There it is. There's the no animation. You know, I have a weird feeling. So, okay, you remember how... Oh, what's his freaking name? Tiger from the last case. You know, high intimidation, not a lot else going on, right? I wonder if Dahlia is so used to people falling for her charms that she doesn't actually know how to lie properly, right? Like she is basically she leans on it so hard that it's become a crutch for her. Because the last time we saw her, she wasn't actually that great either. Good morning, Junior Shire. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public, and yet the witness knew exactly what the note said. This time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Follis is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. Finally, one more person. That's right. A person no one would have suspected. Yeah, I noticed it when I was looking at the note earlier. God, that's a big penalty. But that's okay, because it's Dahlia Hawthorne. I've never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There's her name right there. I keep forgetting to fix my keyboard. I'm going to do that at some point. Who is this Dahlia Hawthorne? This Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Follis. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she died 5 years ago, when she fell off the Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. And we all know legality trumps reality. Oh my god. What he just literally said was, as far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. The fact remains, her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she's alive, she'd be 19 now. I don't know what that is, Draven. I believe that's the same age you are. Even you couldn't... Miss Faye, you're not saying... But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. The fact is, this girl is Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. Unless you could tie it together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. So what's the significance of it, Jobin? Goodness, just who are you, anyway? I'm... That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, I understand. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. I beg to differ. I mean, Payne's down there. We conduct background checks. Looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go. But why... If he hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it, because he's only interested in winning at this point in time. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. But I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well, but as you can see... I got you, Dobbin. Why'd she hide her identity for 5 years? That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. That has a lot to do with the current case. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of a victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder. Really, Miss Fay, I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's claim on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost. Oh, you mean what you're doing? Dude, who you literally hid the identity of someone. You know, faking your identity in a court of law is a crime? Von Karma. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. She must be insane to suggest she murdered her. I'm glad to agree with the prosecutor. Miss Fay, do you have any evidence? Yes! I've actually already given the evidence. I think you need a little more push in the right direction. The defense is prepared to present evidence to support our claim. I know, Junior Shar. It's just, damn it, I have to keep making fun of it because it keeps being stupid. Silly. There's this guy, this crazy coffee addict. I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looked like she's sweating bullets. It's the friggin'... We already have proof! Think you're in a tough spot, huh? Jesus Christ, we already know that we... That is weird, Valvedrix, but you already said that, so that's not surprising that I already knew that. I have no idea why. I mean, in fairness, I didn't remember Pearl when she showed up. What motive would she have for murdering her own sister? Friggin' note. Story started after Terry Follis escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. Now, that's not true, Django. Apparently, quite a few of my impressions are the same. According to Shikor. I have to trust him because I don't watch my own ruminations. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal the truth. The whole truth. There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. The reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie was to keep her mouth shut permanently. Terrific story, Miss Fay. If you like fiction... I like fiction. Is that an attack, Edgeworth? Maybe he hasn't discovered the Steel Samurai yet. Where's your evidence? Dolly and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Follis. Only one important secret that connects them all. Yeah, the frickin' diamond. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony regarding the kidnapping. We believe it will explain a lot of things. Yes, the second game is better than the first one in almost every way. Actually, I was thinking about that, because you brought that up in Discord. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8. So, plus 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. So, plus 8 plus 2 would technically be the score of the first game, and... 3, 4... plus 5 minus 2 would be the score of the second game. So clearly, it's better in every way. Such is the nature of important secrets between the Hawthorne sisters. I'll grant you a request for the further testimony. I know it'll be pain for you, but can you enlighten us once more? My little maple leaf. I'm going to kill you. But yeah, all you're doing is playing right into my trap, Django, for giving me even further evidence that the ruminations on video games should be canceled immediately. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Fawless. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister, Valerie, brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Fawless in the arm. That's when Mr. Fawless tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but when I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. Kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started over again. And we're to believe that after that she murdered her sister. Preposterous. Snarf, snarf, snarf. She could never have hurt her sister. Snarf. Oh, here we go. We still got that info, that ace up our sleeve. Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that she was kidnapped 5 years ago was a staged. That's right, it was a fake kidnapping. Terry Fawless told us that in the lobby. Here's the thing I just said. I'd do anything she told me to. God. So, since he just warned us, tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. You say Mr. Fawless pushed you into the Eagle River? However, that's hard to believe. But it's true, I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Fawless. I'm sorry, I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. As the court recalled the condition of Dusky Bridge now and 5 years ago, the bridge hasn't changed one bit these last 5 years. Someone had pushed you from behind, as you have claimed. Instead of being carried away by the river, you'd be super dead. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible! What? None of this evidence occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level of the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. Right, if the events occurred just as the witness testified, the defendant couldn't have pushed him into the river. Young lady, what's the meaning of this? At the moment, Your Honor, it's true the witness testified the defendant pushed him in the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible Mr. Fawless panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. That's true, she would have fallen into the river. Is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct? Yes, no, it's totally correct. My skirt caught on the bridge side wires. I totally fell over the side. Narf, narf! Order, order! Seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Oh, now, Mia. Fortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. I believe your reasoning went something like this. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible he panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Your flawed logic contradicts the court's record. Is this it? Yep, that's it. Yeah, that's surprisingly high guardrails, or whatever you want to call those, on the side. Your Honor, all the answers required right in this photograph. Take a look at the wires. They extend up about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. But let's remove the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. So young and already so forgetful. Mr. Fellows had been shot in the right arm. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. So, Mr. Follis throwing the witness off the bridge? That is clearly impossible. Order, order. What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne. You jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. Good morning, Sierra Mike. Indeed, what do you mean with such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping in a raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps. But still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh? Then what was it? What was so important she'd jump into the river? A save state. Witness is still alive. This alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life, to jump into the river. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. An item Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond. It can't be. Yes, Dahlia planned it all along. The $2 million was she was going to keep it for herself. She forced Mr. Fells to help her fake her kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. What? That's simply ridiculous. Yeah, the truth is often harsh, isn't it, Edgy? Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? Yes. This woman is a demon. There you go, guys. We've determined it. There was one person who helped her make a demon out of her. Her sister. I mean, the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? She was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. As the sole reason behind the victim's murder. Yeah, can I tell you a weirdly horrible truth I have discovered in my 37 years? Fiction often portrays evil people, but more often than not, writers, that is to say people who write fiction, are not actually evil, and therefore most people who are writers can't really conceive of actually truly horrific things. This is one of the reasons why we tend to have cartoonish evil when it comes to fiction. However, writers who present things that are really horrible in fiction usually do so by copying real life. AKA, real life is the inspiration for evil. On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Miss Follis, Valerie called her sister, Dahlia, and told her what she was planning to do. No, of course not, Linkensky. Is Dahlia cartoonishly evil? No. She was going to tell the whole truth as she wrote in her note. Hey, he picked up on it. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatch your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Yeah, no kidding, John. Forgive me. It's just hilarious. You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale, naturally. You have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14 I plotted to do it with Mr. Fawless and my sister. And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? You can't provide evidence to at least show that. What a joke. You, Miss Fey, are you stupid or something? Very well, we've come to the end. It's time for the last minute thing. Yeah, Gant, I actually rather liked Gant. Gant was still fictionally evil, but I liked the direction he was going. I liked the way he was presented and designed. This girl, I could see her existing in real life, and, as I've pointed out, I used to know someone like this. Probably not to the extent of murder, but it probably says something that I can only say that with partial surety. Girl made a fool of me, there's nothing I can do about it. Without evidence, the trial's over. Who decided that? Mr. Armando. Come on now, kid. Haven't you figured out you make your own rules? You gotta think like a prosecutor. Even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister. She hid the body in the trunk of Mr. Fawless' stolen car and then went to meet him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yeah. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person who can testify. The judge! No, it's Terry, or, yeah. The defense which is called a new witness. Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Fawless. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed further light on the situation. The only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister, Dahlia. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all. So this is where we're going to lose. And that's not a spoiler. We already know this is a loss, like 3 times over. So like I said, supposed to lose fight. I'm curious how it's going to unwind, though. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me. Mr. Fawless, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive. And you were used for $2 million. I mean, the most obvious reason that we would lose is because this guy is so head over heels madly in... Well, I don't want to use the word love, because that is absolutely not what this is. He is so manipulated by her that he can't bring himself to testify against her, so of course our case falls apart, and the end. So one question I want the answer to. Obsessed, that's a good word. I like that. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, whom do you meet? Yeah, this is basically straight up brainwashing. Considering we keep calling her a demon, and the whole fantastical elements thing, it is legit possible that she actually does have a charm spell of some kind. Either an aura, or effect, or just, you know, being a succubi, you know, something. Did you betray me, Dahlia? 5 years ago she promised never ever betray each other. Dahlia, it's true. You are alive. You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad. Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you. I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry. I will allow Mr. Fawless to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Fawless, yours will be the final testimony in the trial. As weird as this may sound, I don't think so, Baron, no. Water, please, water. Can't talk, need water. Oh well, guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of the bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on the bridge. I watched my car from the bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came, stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not Dahlia. My Dahlia! Mr. Follis, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Fay. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Miss Fay, please proceed with cross-examination. There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I mean, I've already pointed out the obvious contradiction there. But it looks like we can press. So we're going to press. According to the note, the meeting... Yeah, I'm with Javan. She would never become a big fish. She would probably never even become a Krennic, to be completely honest. She's... I want to use the word homewrecker, but that's... The way that word is usually a word... The way that word is usually applied isn't how I mean it here. What I mean is she's the kind of person who can do a lot of damage on a very personal level to individual people. You know what I mean? According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you? It was raining, already dark too. You went under the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. Follis? Eagle Mountain, that spot. Strong, strong memories. Why just climb up? She wasn't there, so I waited on the bridge. You were quite early. Yeah, she'd probably go after guys like Victor Kudo, who actually have money. Excuse me. Get herself involved with the Mafia Don and then die because, you know, she's an idiot. But anyways, I shouldn't say that she's not an idiot, but you get my point. You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct? Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it. Sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question. Like I said, Valvadrix. Objection! If the defense would pay attention to my entire statement... No, to find out why a woman betrayed him. Damn, 30 minutes must have been the blink of an eye. I watched my car from the bridge. I never put no body in that car. You were watching the car? That bridge, other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So I was watching the car. Something's bothering me. I'm feeling a contradiction. There's a small shrine up the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing. Please stop biting your frickin' ball bearing. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. Mr. Follis, think carefully now. You certain it was Valerie Hawthorne? I never lie. It's the truth. It was Valerie. I remembered her face. No, you didn't. Then why'd you ask her to make a scarf? Sorry. I told a little lie. Oh, for God's sakes, dude. But the woman I met, she was different from the woman standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie. We talked, and then she left. What did you talk to her about, anyways? Mr. Follis, Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied, got me the death penalty. Were you satisfied with that answer, witness? Dahlia died, and it was my fault. I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. I don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel is dead. After Valerie talked to me on the bridge, nothing left to live for. Oh. That's sad. How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It had already been pretty dark in the mountain. Please, Mr. Follis, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do. Oh, woman, it wasn't Dahlia. Stop right there. What more needs to be said? He's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. You ever heard me talk about people's cores? How sad is it when the only core you have is Dahlia Hawthorne? And what do people do when they no longer have their cores? God, that's horrible! That's so horrible! You got to the bridge, no one arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge, you sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? I'm sure, too, that you're lying. What? Oh, I'd love to hear your rationale on this, Ms. Faye. Honestly, if you asked me to say that right now, Velvetrix, I'd say it was the latter. I'd say this event messed him up massively. Never mind 5 years waiting on death's row. That will severely destroy your personality. I mean, I know we're not supposed to take this super seriously because it's a semi-joking series, but I would bet he was a different person before. He probably wasn't smart, and Dahlia clearly had him wrapped around her finger. But this broken individual in front of us, no. That's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Fawless, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Mr. Fawless, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock, it's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to the special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah. It's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love. 5 years ago, I hid it under the base of the tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. This little bottle in the necklace is your memento? It's quite charming, but it looks empty. Yep. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock, but he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of the car. Yeah, no, he's dead. He lost his core. Some people can get their cores back. Some people don't get that opportunity. Mr. Fawless? That's enough, please. I promised her, if it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink the bottle. No, stop the trial! Your Honor, we need a recess. Interesting that Edgeworth calls for that. Even this Edgeworth. I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this. No, we're so close. Just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence. No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again. Mr. Armando, thanks for the coffee. Jesus Christ. So my first trial ended, suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep in my soul I thought I'd never heal. Probably, Don Girl. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. One person left with a smile on her face. Oh, she left with a secret smile on her demonic face is actually what that said. Unforgivable. That witch. We're so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. Just a little too soft, kid. It's my fault. It's all my fault! Sorry. Thank you very much, So Dead Inside. Appreciate the sub as always, sir. And I'll put that towards KOTOR too. Oh, mood gone. We're cool. No need for feelings here. Frickin' feelings. Don't cry, kitten. You're gonna make my coffee all salty. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Hey, look, it's Godot's theme. In case you didn't pick up on it already. You can't cry yet. Whoa, dude. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. No kidding, Baron. Jeez. Better have to have the case no matter how bitter the memories. They always fade over time. You file them away and eventually forget them. Hey, Solavanti. Welcome to the weekend. 1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Yeah, I know it was the first case. It was a good case. Only after that did Dolly Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was... guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. So now she's on death row for 5 years. Great. It's finally all over. At least, that's what I thought at the time. But now, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years. But now, Solavanti is back. Alright, this is it. It's time to take on the one true criminal. Solavanti! J'accuse! Hi. Thank you very, very much, Solavanti. Much obliged, as always, sir. But you didn't say where you want to put that, so I'm afraid I find you guilty. Yeah. Wait, hang on. Shadows in the Sky 1. Okay, that I will allow. Shadows in the Sky 1. I mean, most people don't get that many donations. Anyways, so. Objection, Baronessa! According to this rule book that I just made up right now. Right here. Page 13. Not putting donations towards a run is a crime. Alright, so. Before I move forward. As much as that was horrible, just horrible, I think there's only one thing I could possibly do here. And that's to give the game a negative. Not certified documents are inadmissible as evidence. What? Sorry, I'm trying to do the Edgeworth thing where he kind of leans in like this. Where's my frickin' positives and negatives? They're there. Yeah, no. For real, plus the story for that case. That was a really good case. That actually might be one of the best story cases so far. Like, in terms of emotional impact. You know what I mean? That was just... That was... Damn! Oh. Ugh. Shichi Shitu, the treasured Crane Village heirloom, whose meaning means seven-branched sword. It is said that this sacred sword represents life itself. Gosh, I hope not. Though the branches may appear to be infinite, the choices limitless. Like our destinies, the sword comes to but one end. One merciless point. Life is meaningless. When the silver cord, the fragile thread that binds us to this world, is severed, it is time for I Am to return to the story. Through fire and water, the illusion is revealed, and the implacability of fate is finally laid bare. Yes, I will, Dirty Benji. I was debating that earlier, but having gone through a lot of the Cyclops at this point, I was hesitating on giving a gameplay positive to the Cyclops, mostly because the initial couple ways it was shown in the second game, like the first few times Cyclops showed up, weren't all of that great, in my opinion. Unlike Larian. Larian's great, okay? Like, Larian's amazing. Super evil, but amazing. So, thank you very, very much, Larian. Obliged and appreciate, as always, for your incredibly evil nature. Now, having gone through the game at this point, though, I will say that I do like them as included. So, yeah, gameplay positive, I agree. So that would be 1 for 2 and 3. Honestly, no. No, I take that back. I'm just going to give it to 3 because of what I just said. Because in 2, they were just kind of there. In 3, it feels the structure of how they're used is better. You know what I mean? I say that a lot, don't I? I'm sorry. I don't mean to. It really is. I say that in real life, too. So, plus to gameplay for 3 for the Cyclops. Favorite case so far? That's actually a tough one. As of this exact moment, overall, I would say it's a tie between 1-5 and 2-4. Because both of those did have some issues, but both of them were basically good, both from the construction of the gameplay aspect and from the narrative story beats. Probably I can name complaints for both, which is why they both kind of even out for me. But nevertheless, I do think both were very satisfying and generally well done. However, I will admit, in terms of sheer narrative impact, I would actually say, and that's a different category, that's why I'm listing this separately, I would say my favorite case was actually the one we just did. That was very, very well written, and very, just unflinchingly punching you right in the gut. Just damn, that knew right where to hit. It makes me wonder if the writers have actually known someone like Dahlia Hawthorne in real life. Because, as I said, I did. I knew someone like that. Obviously not at the murder level, but I mean... Hey, Nick, what is it? You know how I've got spiritual powers, unlike you? Sure. But just like you, you want the real answer, Django? Because I know you're joking, but you want the real answer for how I survived? There were no Terrys in my story. Nobody believed her because she was so overtly and obviously lying about everything. Girl Who Cried Wolf, we talked about this. So nobody believed her, and ergo, it didn't work out for her. I was able to chop out of that. And I haven't heard from her or talked from her since. This is a long time ago at this point. This has been like 2002, I want to say. 2002 or 2003. It was after college, so it was right around in that range. That's fair enough, Javin. Yeah, I didn't have any stupid judges, I didn't have any Terrys, and I didn't have any Phoenixes in my life. I was a moron, but I was never that stupid. Just like you, if I don't keep my powers sharp, they get dull, right? I guess so, yeah. Glad you agree. Okay, Pearly, you're up. That's why you need to go on a special spiritual hotspot tour. I'm lost. What's the magazine you're shoving to my face? Yes, I was right, but less stupid. When I was confronted with the truth about her, I believed it. That would be the distinction. It's the New Year's issue of Occult, Winter Spiritual Location Special. Girls look so happy. Maximize your spiritual powers with one night of intensive training. That sounds too good to be true, I'll say. It sounds more like a scam. It's a spiritual retreat called Hazakura Temple. It's way up in the mountains, but it's nice and cold. Perfect for training. No, I definitely don't want to go. You know, I think I've heard of this temple before. It's a famous channeling dojo. Oh yeah, I need to get a walk through it. Because we're going to be doing an investigation thing, probably. Oh yeah, I know you guys are going to hate me for saying this, but my little test proved something for me. Now, this is purely subjective, and I'm not giving any pluses or negatives for this, but I enjoy this a little bit more with a walkthrough. There's no stumbling. The beat and pacing gets along better. Right? I mean, it's... How do I phrase this as simply as I can? For me, for the kind of playstyle I prefer, I feel like the gameplay is just kind of lacking in general. As in, it's not engaging. It's like, okay, yep. And I feel a little bit too much like I'm just aiming for choose your own adventure, or I've already figured it out 3 minutes ago. And one of the two, right? Like, there's no in-between there. Either... If you guys want me, I will put this up on cheating, because I guess this qualifies as cheating. So I will put that on the marker. Yes, cheats, walkthrough. There. Because I know some people insist that using a walkthrough is cheating. We've talked about that argument many times. So... Oh, that's easy max time. I haven't been doing that during the investigation sequence. Like, the only thing I've been doing in the investigation sequence is seeing how long they are. So, for example... we start it right in Cole offices, right? So I'm going to scroll down. So there's the second investigation sequence. And this is a really long one, basically. This is a very long investigation sequence. So that's about as much as I tend to read ahead. It's hard for even real spirit mediums to make up reservations up there. Reservations for a temple? Are you serious? Don't worry, I've already made special reservations just for us. Yeah. And I signed up for the special course. That's nice. And the timing could be better since we don't have a case right now anyways. Alright, it's settled. Well, come on, don't just stand there. Start packing your stuff. Yeah, Mr. Nick, start packing your stuff. Is it me? Why do I have to go? No, we have to be accompanied by someone over 20. I don't have anything to do with spirit power. The only thing I can channel is a TV. Hang on, let me look at the walkthrough. It says... And then turn to Edgeworth and then kiss him. And then I have to select hand on waist and then other hand through hair? What? Anyways. You can stand under a freezing waterfall instead of a heated pool. Sorry, I think I'll pass. I hate cold places. And that's true, Geludo. Some people are not smart, like me. That's why I'm using a walkthrough. It's a valid complaint. Like I said, several times, what is needed to go forward just is not obvious to me. And so, anytime I hit those points, I just feel like I'm trial and erroring. The fact that I can save at will does help. This is another reason this isn't adding into a negative. Because there is an in-game gameplay mechanic to basically encourage trial and error. But... Come on, Mr. Nick. Look at this place. Doesn't it look beautiful? Yeah, who's that on the picture? Not going to be... Let me see that magazine. It is her! God, I can tell that from a distance. Is she a friend of yours? This is, by the way, this is exactly why I mentioned Breath of Fire 2. Now, I'll explain that now for those of you who never actually picked up on that. Breath of Fire 2 is not a very good game. However, it is a game that can still be enjoyed if you have a walkthrough. If you remember, that was one of my final conclusions. Like 5 or 6 of the negatives I gave were all for various versions and types of walkthrough-itis. If you have a walkthrough and know what you're doing, you can bypass a lot of the issues with the game. Now, the game still gets the negatives for those, because we don't, because of the nature of how we do these. But anyways, is she a friend of yours or something, Nick? This girl, it's Evil McEvilson. And I don't know who that one is. My name's Dolly Hawthorne. It's an honor to be in your noble presence. Also, I'm pure evil. How can any woman count on you for anything? You disgust me. She was found guilty and should still be in prison. Apparently they didn't kill her. I'll go. I said I'll go. No, Crazy Norse. It's like, it's reflecting, it pushes them back. Thank you, Mr. Nick. You're welcome. You do anything for Mystic Maya, right? Even walk over burning coals? No. I knew there was no way she could possibly be at that temple, but I had to see for myself who this nun really was. Hey, they got a snowmobile. I've always wanted to ride on one of those things. I've ridden a jet ski, which was a lot of fun, by the way. But I've never ridden a snowmobile. So cold here, Nick. Maybe we should put on something warmer for a change. Because she's awesome, Crazy Norse. Teeth are chattering so loudly, it's all I can do to make out what she's saying. New song, too. Mystic Maya, so this is the famous Hazakura Temple. Hurley Hachu! Well, it is me. She did it! Guilty! Nice to see you here. Welcome to our temple. Thank you. Oh, my. Thank you for coming all this way. Come now, you must be cold. It's the past tense. Oh, well, we're high up in the mountains after all. In any case, we shouldn't speak here. Please follow me inside. Thank you. I was starting to think I would ask. Oh, yes, I almost forgot to introduce myself. I'm the head nun here at the temple. The name's Bikini. Bikini Greatbeard. How was it, Blue Wolf Alex? I know it's a woman, but I can't exactly do this the entire time. So, instead, she's a dwarf now. Yes, Solivanti. Someone donated a lot of money for me to play that game. Actually, that's my temple name. What do you think? It's a tradition to have one. I wanted something that had a nice image to it. So I thought, why not choose a bikini? Besides, it makes me seem younger. It certainly does. Oh, I signed up for your special course. Well, my. Quite brave of you, considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one with those you channel. You're going to die. It's so funny. Reckless? Wahaha. Maybe you should take it easy tonight, Mr. Maya. We can come back another day. But you went through all that trouble to get reservations for... Yes, that's right. You've come all this way. Please enjoy yourselves. There's still time for our supper, so why don't you have a look around? What's a channeling dojo? Oh, my. You don't even know that. Forgive him, sister. He knows not what he is saying. Wow. Just call me Bikini and forget the sister part. You can't really call me a sister given my particular manner of speech. A channeling dojo is basically a spiritual power training ground. They have specially holy items prepared here to help people boost their spiritual power. Holy items? You train an entire evening surrounded by these items. Oh, it's quite mysterious. The spiritual power of these items envelops you. Just gotten off the trolley from the land of make-believe. So what exactly special? You must be incredibly devoted to be interested in that at a young age. It's a training session where you sit in a block of spirit ice and chant a spell. 30,000 times while being showered in freezing cold spirit water. Objection, Solavanti! Dragon Age 2! It's February now, right? You have to be careful this time of year. If you don't watch it, you'll catch pneumonia or die of hypothermia. So be careful, you hear? You're going to die. I'm supposed to be careful. Oh no. I shouldn't have signed Mystic Maya after this. It's okay, Pearl. You didn't know that this is secretly a hellhole. Sister? About this picture. Who is that? I must say, I look rather divine here, don't you think? Yeah. Unforgettable in every way. You mean it? Oh, I know it. The makeup was pretty tough, but Iris helped me out. Iris? The cute little girl in the photo. She looks just like me, doesn't she? No. No, she doesn't. We're just a small temple here, so she and I run the entire place. Really? It kind of sounds like... Sorry to cut in, but... This Iris? Where is she right now? Oh, just listen to you. You haven't come all the way up here just to find a girlfriend, have you? Glare. No, that's not what I had in mind at all. Anyway, Iris is in the inner temple, preparing for this evening. Inner temple? Yes, that's right. Iris will be back this evening. I should go have a look at the main hall for now. That is really poorly painted. The main hall. It's even colder in here. Achoo! Mr. Nick, do you smell that? It smells like meat and gravy. You're right. I guess it's pot roast for tonight. Weird. I thought they'd serve something a little more traditional. What are you talking about, Nick? You think monks and nuns just sit around eating rice and gruel? Well, it's cheaper. Mystic Maya is right. Oh, there's mashed potatoes, too. I love mashed potatoes. Yes? Yes, I need you to send down a shuttle. I need some mashed potatoes, like the best. Just send a whole ton full. Yes, I said a ton. Thank you. I don't know what voice to use with that person. Greetings to all of you. Hello. This lady makes Maya look like 6.8 out of 10 on the weirdness scale. Yes, I'm the mage for this one. Yeah, I can't do wise or old. I definitely can't sound kind. Did you come here for the special course too? Unfortunately, no. Actually, I'm... You're Miss Elise... Denham? I've noticed I like good mashed potatoes, but over the years I've discovered that there's a really big gap between good mashed potatoes and bad mashed potatoes. It really sucks. But yeah, good mashed potatoes. Oh. Yes, that's right. You know of me? My name is Pearl Fay. I'm your biggest fan. I'm not sure if I should take that as a good thing, Solavanti. I see it now. Zvari, a fortune teller. Got all your books, Miss Donim. What a sweet thing to say. Please, call me Elise. Books? Mr. Nick, don't you know anything? Don't you even know who this is? An author, maybe? Yes, and an illustrator of picture books. Picture books, huh? Oh, now I get it. See you around, Junior Shire. Hope to see you in the VOD. Yeah, I noticed the Bayonetta parallel. I'm guessing that's incidental. So, I'm sorry, I didn't know who you are. I don't get a lot of chances to really enjoy picture books. It's alright. I take no offense to that. My books are nothing but simple stories for children. And really beautiful pictures, too. Your books always make me feel as if my heart has been purified. Makes me feel very happy to hear you say that. I do have to admit, she certainly seems like a kind, sensitive lady. So she's clearly the murderer. Celeste won an award last year for her book, The Magic Bottle. Yes, a friend of mine secretly submitted a story I had written to a publisher. They liked it so much they asked if it was alright to make it into a book. It must have been a really great story. Maybe I should try to write a children's book, too. If I do, you can secretly send it to a publisher for me. Recently, I've accepted a sort of apprentice, you might say. An apprentice? Calls himself Loris Denim. I believe he's doing some landscape sketches right now. On Laurice's behalf, as well, I'd like to thank you for your support. Of course, Miss Elise, anything for you! Well, hang on, let's look at her design. Let's see. So she's a mage and a mystic, and she's got a purple and black, gray motif. And Gumshoe was cool in one case in the third game, but otherwise he's just kind of there, and I feel bad for him. And she's got a book, so she's a caster. Wait a minute! Objection! She is wielding both a staff and a book, which shows that she's actually trying to multi-class. That is clearly an illegal move! That's an FF14 joke for, like, the two of you out there who play that game. Why did you come to Hazakura Temple? Are you here to do some spiritual training? No, that's not it. I'm actually here to gather materials for a new book I'm working on. Oh yeah, by the way, real quick about the mashed potatoes thing. The worst mashed potatoes I've ever had, all I'm going to say is soup. Ugh. Pearls is completely taken with her. I wanted to do a book with more Japanese feel to it this time. That's why you're dressed like you are? The children have a certain image of me in their minds. I don't want to disappoint them. What can I say? She's a really sweet lady. Oh, Miss Elise, you're dressed up like a mountain nun. Yes, the good people here were kind enough to let me borrow this. I'm wearing training clothes underneath my robe as well. I want a staff like that. Ow. You like the crystal sphere? It's real amethyst, you know. I'm actually sad how many of you guys immediately understood what I meant when I said soup. We apparently have all suffered bad mashed potatoes. I'd like to make a rule. Within the next week, we all need to make an effort to get good mashed potatoes in our lives. Agreed? I actually know of a deli around here, which I know is open. And Sunday, during my doing errands thing, I'll swing by there to try and get some good mashed potatoes. That's my end of the thing. You guys have to try and get some too. Good luck, Nick. I know you'll find me one. Well, you'll have to excuse me now. I have to go help with dinner preparations. Wow, you mean you're cooking dinner tonight? That's right. Would you like to help too, Pearl? Yes, I want to help with whatever I can because I'm adorable and amazing. That's fair. Some people are probably on lockdown. We're not actually on real lockdown where I'm at right now. Like, we're on, non-essentials. But, like, if I go out and about, there's plenty of cars on the road. You know what I mean? No, it's fine. Please don't worry about it. Feel free to relax and explore the area with your friend. That's still within a week, blew up Alex. Please take this. I think it'll be of help to you. Inner temple, there it is, on the other side of the bridge. Well, if you insist, I guess we'll take this chance to go check out the other temple. I actually do know what you're talking about, Dakota. I have one of those. I don't know what it's called either. See you till later. Remember, you're not allowed to fight. Come on, Nick, let's go. At least we'll stay warm if we keep moving. I have to admit, I don't actually know if they've put in a full lockdown, because I don't care. at this point in time, the only reason I'm going out anyways is to get, errands done, which is predominantly getting laundry and food. Right? So I'm already under the conditions of a lockdown, even if we did have an actual lockdown. Yeah, what am I doing? Huh? Where did Sister Bikini go? Well, hopefully she didn't put one on. I want to find out who Iris really is, but I'm scared of what I'll find. Don't worry, we'll kill her. I mean... The Dusky Bridge. Look at this broken down old bridge, Nick. Yeah, doesn't everyone put cheese into mashed potatoes? I'm kidding, of course they don't. But ever since I discovered cheese in mashed potatoes, that's it's been a bit of a game changer. You can't put in too much or too little, and you have to make sure that it's like spread throughout the mashed potatoes too. Otherwise, you're just going to get like a sudden bite of cheese in the middle of the mashed potatoes. There's a river down there. Looks like it's flowing real fast. What's wrong, Nick? You look like you've seen a ghost. Just not very good with heights. Oh, hey, I've got it. Maybe you should face your fear and try hurling yourself off the edge. 1, 2, 3, jump. Might be just what you need to get over your fear of heights. Maya. Real death is a real good way to overcome phobias. I actually don't put butter with my taters. Now, meat. You ever have rib meat inside a baked potato? Because that, oh. There's a barbecue place. I guess this would have been 5 places I lived ago. And they did that. It was basically you could get 4 ribs or 8 ribs. And they pull the rib meat off and cook and then put it into the thing and put some fixings on it. Just, oh my God. No gravy. No gravy. Anyways, Dusky Bridge. I don't like gravy. I'm not a gravy man. Anyway, the inner temple is just up ahead, so let's go and check it out. Oh, isn't there another way across? It's okay, we'll make it. Hopefully. Spicy mashed potatoes. So what do you use to make them spicy? Whoa, that bridge was shaking like jello in an earthquake. And at least half the wood was rotting, I bet. Not to mention the last part only had 1 board left on it. What's wrong? You're all green. Can you not pick on me for a second? Still trying to get over the shock that we made it safely across that death trap. Yeah, I guess I'm a bit surprised too. Thanks, Maya. That temple's in bad shape. Looks like it collapsed any minute. Yeah, is that a straw palisade? Aw, that sucks, Shikor. Is this really where you're going to train tonight? It has to be it. It's kind of creepy around here, like a ghost might jump out of you or something. Oh, dude, I haven't made shepherd's pie in a long time. Shepherd's pie. My shepherd's pie is simple, but damn good. In my opinion, obviously. It's really simple. Green beans, or green peas, rather. And maybe corn, if I'm feeling it. Mashed potatoes, and really spicy ground meat. Either beef, or pork, or both. This is a horrible looking area. Look at this place. It's a tiny freezing cold room. This is where you'll be training, huh? What do you mean, both? I'm the only one. Really? But I thought... Pearlie's just a kid. She couldn't handle this kind of intense training. So says the girl who can barely hear over her teeth chattering. Escondido? No, there's no second D. Escondidino. There we go. Escondidino. There we go. I think I got it. That does sound good. Yep, definitely getting the feeling it's back there. Even I can sense there's something supernatural about the cavern beyond that door. She even has the same theme song. Come on. Who are you? Ah, you're... Hi there. We're just looking around since we're going to be staying here tonight. Something wrong? No, it's nothing. I'm definitely not Dahlia Hawthorne, the most horrifically personally evil character we've had in the entire series so far. I wonder why she spaced out like that. Don't you, Nick? Did you say something, Maya? Not you too, Nick. My name's Iris. I'm one of the nuns in the temple. Yeah, she recognized Phoenix, and Phoenix recognized her. Even though it's been like 6 years. I'm Maya Fey. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure is mine. Excuse me, I have chores to attend to. This is it, guys. It's time to commit our first murder. She sure is beautiful, and a bit spacey, I guess. I guess she's not used to talking with urban sophisticates like us. Nick? It can't be her. You know, I'm going to actually be upset if we don't just tell Maya what the hell's going on. Mostly, I know, I'm negative, blah, blah, blah. But, like, one of the things that tends to irritate me most in fiction is when drama happens because one person doesn't communicate to the other. I suppose that's such a generic statement that you can apply that to a lot of things. But you know what I mean, right? You know the type of scene I'm talking about. I can't tell you. Doodle 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 doodle. Okay, it was secretly this. Honestly, as weird as this may sound, the most obvious example of that jumps to mind is World of Final Fantasy. Because there's like 2 solid hours of drama that happens. Because someone was right in front of us, and she was asked a specific question about a specific thing. I'm not going to spoil. But she was asked a specific question about a specific thing, and she refused to answer it. Then we go do quests for a couple hours. Drama, 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 drama. And then, oh yeah, by the way, this is what I was going to say, but I didn't say it last time. God dang it, speak! Anyways. Come on! Okay, where am I? Training hall. Examine the scroll. Ah! Doc! What? This scroll. It's my mother. It's Misty Fey, master of the Kurain School of Channeling. Are you sure? Yes, that crest at the top of the scroll. That's the special mark of the master of our tradition. So that's what the mark means. Then why does Pearl have one? Never mind. Nothing. It's just, I last saw her over 15 years ago. Yeah. If it wasn't for that crest, I wouldn't have known it was her. My own mother, and I can't even recognize her face. Well, that's not a hint or anything. Who's gonna get killed? I don't know. I can see 2 suspects right now. Bikini and Miss Donim. Oh, phew, I managed to make it across Dusty Bridge. Nick, you look green. Are you feeling right? No, it's going to be Miss Donim. It makes too much sense for it to be her. Bikini is too much of a joke character. They usually don't kill off joke characters. They're usually witnesses. So... Hey, what's wrong with you? Ever since we met Sister Iris, you've been really quiet. Oh, sorry. Must be. Do you mind moving? You're standing right in my way. See you around, Solavanti. You know, if I just pause the game right now, we could pretend he was the victim. And the rest of the game just works out amazingly. There it is, and he dies, running away from us. Nice to meet you, I'm Laurice Denim. What? you're Larry. Your clothes may change, but you're still the butts. Shut up. I'm Louise. And I'm here to do a sketch of Dusky Bridge. So, it really is our Larry. Not that I get why he's pretending to be someone else. Ooh, yeah, her. My little Iris. Oh, no. I don't like Larry. I would never condemn him to Dahlia. She's perfect. She's exactly my type. No! No, she's not. She is not your type, Larry. I wonder if she would model for me. I want to draw a portrait of her. Yeah, you always liked those model types, didn't you, Larry? Hey, wait a second. Didn't you say you were swearing off women? Yeah, that's right. Of course I have. I have basically, but Iris is different. I feel like I still have one last chance at the dream. Oh, this game does deserve Dahlia? You want the joke answer or the real answer? Hello, Carwillos. The joke answer is Matt on guard. They deserve each other. It's funny because they'll both be really horrifically evil and constantly manipulate each other and not care about each other at all. It'll be like a real relationship. Okay, so that's the joke answer. The real answer is no one. No one deserves Dahlia. So what are you doing with the last name Donim? Well, I wanted to start over again with a clean slate, so I decided to fake my identity. Shikor, here's Dahlia. Enjoy what's left of your life. After that, I started to realize I didn't like this guy known as Larry Butts. That's when I came across it. The Book of Destiny. The Magic Bottle. Miss Elise Donim. So beautiful, so moving, so gentle. My heart felt cleansed. I was saved. Yeah, no kidding. Even Larry doesn't like Larry. Ain't that the truth? Larry would make a great book salesman. I want to get the book now, too. No, Baron. Remember, Pearl's 9. Dahlia was a horrific person at least at 14. So we all have our different definitions of the alignment tree, or the alignment grid. In my book, Dahlia would be neutral evil, self-interest to the point of extremity. She's the most wonderful person I've ever met. Follow her anywhere. She certainly is a very elegant lady. Yeah, to kill her, lawful evil. Easy answer. Gant, too, while we're on the subject. Matt on guard would probably be closer to chaotic evil. Although even then, I think he's kind of still neutral evil. Now I'm trying to think of a chaotic evil person in this series. Yeah, Pearls, chaotic good. Yep. You want a copy, don't you? It's okay. Happen to have extra prints. Thanks. The Tiger? No, he's probably neutral evil as well. I'm having trouble coming up with, by my definition, a chaotic evil person in this one. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Still, it's hard to imagine you as a picture book illustrator. So tell the truth, you must have some kind of ulterior motive, right? What are you talking about? I don't trust anyone anymore, especially not women. So, what happened this time? Anyway, can you even draw well enough to make a picture book? Art isn't only about technical skill, you know, it's also about having a pure heart and technical skill. Now that you mention it, I wonder. Looks like you still have doubt in your heart. It's true, I do. But when I first saw her, I felt it. Something inside me ended and something else began. Sounds like you fall in love with Miss Elise Donim. No, it's not her, it's the other girl, the incredibly evil one. Why would I fall in love with a beautiful woman who's nice, kind, and gentle? I have to fall in love with the nightmare succubus. Hey, Pearl. Fair, Crazy Norse. Dinner preparations are complete. Please come quickly. Alright, can't wait to dig in. No. No, you are not allowed to be around Iris by yourself. Pearl. Or we're okay with that. Sure. Depends on which Joker you're talking about, Sierra Mike. I would actually argue very strongly that at least two interpretations of the Joker are actually lawful evil. You sure it's alright to eat that much before your training? Oh, this kind of training is a battle of endurance. Mystic Maya, please don't do anything that might put your health at risk. I'll go ahead and tell you which two Jokers. Mark Hamill's and Heath Ledger's. Although it's worth noting that even the writers disagree on Heath Ledger's the Joker on purpose, so he's certainly a very interpretable character. But Mark Hamill's Joker? Yeah, absolutely. Let's not dilly-dally. Did she seriously just say dilly-dally shilly-shally? I wonder if that's a reference. You must get ready for tonight. Good luck, Maya. Alright, here I go. See you in class tomorrow, I guess. Iris, please ring the bell at 10 for lights out, alright? Yes, Sister Bikini. I will kill everyone and everything. I mean, if I had a choice between ending up with Bikini or ending up with Dahlia, I know who I'd choose. After you ring the bell, I want you to come join us at the training hall. Of course, that's not fair. I'd probably choose the sun, as in being tossed into the sun over being with Dahlia. Maya and Bikini really seem excited about this training thing tonight. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading. Well then, would you like to practice reading with me? The last time I hung out with my niece, we went to a restaurant afterwards. And I was sitting right next to her because she always wants to sit next to me. And she pulled over the menu and was like, do you want to help me practice my reading? And I was like, sure. And she's getting really good at reading. She stumbled over a few words, but most of them were proper nouns, so, you know. Anyways. She's 73, Crazy Norse. So, Lara, what are you going to do? Me? I'm just going to hang out in the room. I can't stand the cold. Totally hear you there. Miss Elise? So, for example, how do you read this? It says, gravely. It's kind of a tough word. You know, one of the things we've been teaching, I say we, I'm barely involved in this, my niece, is the fact that English has weirdness to it. Because English is inconsistent. Because English is a interesting language. That's another one. It says roast. What kind of book is she reading anyways? Gravely Roast. I'm gonna go wash the dishes and help clean up. I'll go visit when you're done, Miss Elise. I will admit, I'd never appreciated English as much until I started studying languages for the purpose of making my own. And I have actually come to appreciate English more as a consequence of that. The upside of English is the fact that it has so many words that describe specific flavors and nuances of something That's the benefit of English. That's one of its main highlights. The downside of English is the many, 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 many inconsistencies in its internal design. Probably because it's literally a hodgepodge of languages. Why couldn't the bathroom be a little close to my room? Mr. Wright? Oh, Mr. Denim. Are you going to use the bathroom too? No, but have you seen Pearl? No, not since after dinner. I thought she said she was going to your room. I know, but she never showed up. I'm going to look for her. Excuse me. I will kill everyone and everything. I mean, we must save Pearl. Sister Iris. Good evening. Are you on the way to the bathroom too, Mr. Wright? Can't let this chance pass me by. No, wait. Yeah, totally not her, guys. Did she dye her hair? I don't think she did dye her hair. Your sister Iris, right? Yes. So, when did you come to Hazakura Temple? I don't remember. Ever since I was a small child, the temple has been my home. So you never left? Well, I don't have any family left to take care of me. Sister Bikini, I've come to think of her as my real mother, as it were. I see, but didn't you go to college? And maybe enroll in Ivy University Literature Department? No, I never had an interest in going to a big university like that. I suppose I should explain my theory out loud so I can prove that I was thinking ahead. It's very simple. See what she's got around her neck? And if you channel someone, you keep the same general type of hair. We've seen that with both Pearl and Mia. So... my training has all the education I need. I see. But once in a while, when I get the chance, I make the trip to the nearby town. I use a computer and a cell phone, too. It's not exactly something worth bragging about. I don't see any Cyclops, so I guess that means she's not lying. Please don't stare at me like that. We've already proven the Cyclops thing isn't infallible, so don't pull that right. What kind of place is this, anyways? I heard it's for training to increase your spiritual power. Must seem awful crazy to a normal person like you. Well, I have to admit it's a different world up here. I'm glad to hear you say that. Huh? Talking with dead people? Who does it help, anyway? I hate it. Something wrong? I didn't realize it was so late. I have to go ring the bells for lights out. Guess it's 10 now, huh? Mr. Wright? If it's alright with you, I'd like you to have this. So it's either explosive, or poisoned, or she's framing us for murder. Has the power to protect you from evil spirits. What do you think of it? Sister Bikini was wearing one, too. I pray for your safety on this cold, dark night. See, what would make most sense is that this is Dahlia's body being possessed by someone else. But the reverse could also be true. However, the reverse could only be true if Dahlia's dead. Now you're probably thinking, well, hang on, we know that they don't kill people because that one dude was on death row for 5 frickin' years. And you're right. The direction my mind's going there is suicide. Not only because of the obvious, but also because of the fact that she could keep going after death, because we already know that's a thing. Just now, you called me my name. You said, Mr. Wright. How'd you know my name? I never introduced myself. Sister Iris, please tell me the truth. You and I, have we met before? There's a Cyclops. Notice she has new, Whoa! I'd say she has new animations, but you know what I mean. She has new sprites for this one that she hasn't had in the previous 2 cases she's been in. Well, going off of what we've seen in the games, the only absolutely definitive thing we've seen about someone who was sentenced for murder is that he was on death row for 5 years. That's it. That scream, I'm sure it came from around here. Someone's there on the ground. Miss Stoneham. Hey, don't step on my tummy like that. Sorry, Bikini. What are you doing in the snow? I've passed out. What do you think? Forget about that. Hurry and call the police. Is even a phone in the main hall? No, but we still get reception. Must have a cell phone, right? I didn't break the... Oh, you're useless. Even Iris has a cell phone. We've got no choice. You have to use the public phone by the dusty bridge. Hurry, hurry, hurry! You don't hurry. Iris will what? Vortex of murder. Dusky bridge is burning down. Doo-dah, doo-dah. What are you doing here? What is it? Is it me? It's screaming like that, Larry. I almost had a heart attack. My name isn't Larry, it's Larice. Larry, hurry up and call the police. I'm going to the Inner Temple. Don't be stupid. The bridge is nothing but a burning wreck now. Listen to me. There's been a murder here. What? The murderer might have fled across the bridge and then lit it on fire. I have to make sure Maya is safe. I've got to call the police. Now get out of the way, Larry. It's too dangerous. Nick, wait. I must have been crazy. I knew how dangerous it was, but I still went for it. And fell. Weakened even more by the... So this is why we were injured during the previous case. Weakened even more by the fire, the rickety old bridge's planks snapped and gave away. And as I was swallowed by the eternal darkness that surrounded me, a final terrifying scream rose up to pierce the frozen air of the harrowing night. Yeah, the hospital bed. I mean, it was pretty obvious from the picture when we first saw it. And yeah, that would explain why he was looking over an old case about Dahlia. Yep, time to end the stream. Peace, guys. No, I'm kidding. Yes, Edgeworth speaking. Edgy, get up. It's an emergency. Larry, do you know what time it is? It's not Larry, it's Larice. Larice done him in. This is nothing more than a terrible nightmare. I'll just roll over. Wait, don't hang up. It's an emergency. It's Nick. He really took a nasty spill. It won't be the first time, so... I'm not joking. His life is in danger. What? What happened? Tell me! My precious righty whitey. Talking about a guy with a bad luck. He may already be dead. Anyway, you've got to come back. You're the only one who can help. My Iris. My beautiful Iris. She needs help. Alright, I don't know what's going on, but I'll be there as soon as I can. I'm at the detention center. It's been 1 year since I left that country. Thought I wouldn't have to see him again for a while. Sounds like it won't be a pretty reunion, as if I expected anything to change. And yeah, once again, Miles had no hesitation once he realized the situation was actually serious and not just, you know, Larry being Larry. You're late, Edgy. What took you so long? I don't want to hear it. I chartered a private jet to come... How much money do you have? I should have chartered a faster one. Anyway, just listen. Something else happened to... wait, what? Say something, Edgy. Before I came here, I stopped by the hospital and played Bright to visit. I believe I have a better understanding of the situation than you at this point. The murder victim was the picture book author, Miss Elise Denim. She was found by Wright and the head nun. The suspect is... Dahlia. Later, while Wright was crossing the bridge, it broke and he fell into the river. The hospital says he'll need at least 2 days of bed rest. Yes, that's right, you got it. But they arrested her, my sweet little Iris. Larry, I don't want to give you a negative. Please shut your gob. still don't understand what these two items are for. They're things Wright gave to me when I was leaving his room. He gave me a oh my god, we're playing as Edgeworth. He said I would be able to see into people's hearts with this. And the other, he couldn't possibly be asking what I think he is, could he? I'm begging you. Our trial starts tomorrow. Get Nick out of the picture. You're all I've got left. You're the only one who can represent her. What did you just say? You know, represent, defend. What were you expecting? Why do you think I called you anyway? I'm a prosecutor, Larry. A prosecutor. Do you understand what I'm saying? A prosecutor is a lawyer who... Don't talk to me like I'm a kid. I graduated from junior high, you know. So you never graduated from high school. Somehow that doesn't surprise me. No, you misunderstand, Blue Wolf Alex. We've been acknowledging the text of Edgeworth for some time. But seeing the Magatama shows that we'll be doing investigation sequences as Edgeworth. Which is why I mentioned that when I saw the Magatama. Oh my god, John. Okay, sure. I mean, I heard a paper badge had no problem fooling an entire court before. That's true. How could this country's judicial system have fallen into such decay? Please, Edgy, at least listen to her. So Wright wasn't joking at when he gave me his badge after all. Well, I'll do it for Wright, but I was sure as hell will not do it for you, Larry. Thank you for coming. My name is Evil. Edgeworth. Miles Edgeworth. I don't know if I can be of any help, but I will at least hear what you have to say about the murder. Mr. Wright, how is he? Super dead. Mr. Louis said he might even die. Crocodile tears! Fortunately, he will be fine, Larry, you moron. Well, I am an idiot, Blue Wolf Alex. How could you say something like that? In all in total sincerity, I was just assuming it was a perspective shift, which the games have done before, which isn't really anything new. Like I said, it wasn't until I saw the Magatama that I realized we're actually going to do investigation sequences as Edgeworth. He was badly bruised when he hit the water, but otherwise he is unharmed. Thank goodness. I could never live with myself if the guy I tried to get committed for murder was dead. He's caught some kind of nasty cold. Cold? He's running a high fever and is drifting in and out of consciousness. Must be imagining things. This woman, I feel like I've met her before. That's because you have. Scroll down a little bit. That's a new song. No. This is a song that's only played infrequently. Yes, Phoenix has a cold. Damn it, Dahlia, stop infecting people around you. So no wonder the vortex of death exists in this setting. Anyway, so... Pardon me, Iris. I would like to ask you something if you don't mind. I have the distinct feeling you and I have met before, and unlike Wright, I actually have a brain. It must be your imagination, Mr. Edgeworth. After all, I hardly ever leave Hazukara Temple. Hazakura Temple? What's that? It's a place where those who wish to boost their spiritual power come to train. You need to undergo some very difficult training to release your inner spiritual power. Spiritual power? Did you go to that temple for that reason as well? No, I don't have any spiritual powers. I don't need them. I'm a succubus! In that case, what are you doing at the temple then? I've committed some sins I need to pay for. Oh, very cute game. You think I'm going to actually believe that Dahlia is trying to turn over a new leaf? Please. That's why I'm there and why I continue to train, to purify my soul. It's true, she doesn't need spiritual powers. I want to ask you about the night of the crime. Alright, I helped to clean up after dinner and went back to my room at about 8. Later I left my room to ring the lights out bell at 10. The bell? We ring it at the same time each night. I see. And then? And then I was told to go to the training hall, but I went to my room and stayed there. Why didn't you go to the training hall like you were asked to? I was frightened. So I just stayed in my room and meditated until the murder happened. There's more to her story, I just know there is. Maybe I should dig a little deeper. You were asked to go to the training hall the night of the murder. Yes. However, you didn't go. Because you say you were frightened. What exactly were you so frightened of? So... What in the world? Is something wrong? I'm sorry. It's nothing. It looks like she's not aware of them herself. These must be what Wright was talking about. The psycho locks! I believe that he said I need to present the Magatama item to do something. Not yet, though. So do you have any idea as to what occurred that night? I think it was the result of the tremendous spiritual power unleashed. Yeah, we were summoning the devil. You mean... No, I mean the devil. I was calling up the big guy, and I was trying to tell him and seduce him. Didn't work out for me, but, you know. Spiritual power? Yeah, spiritual training has been a cause behind many great tragedies. Really? Since it was just another example. Iris, I'm sorry, I can't accept that. I'm a man of science. I don't believe in spiritual power, even though I just saw Cyclops in the air around your head, but I can do these out of order, so whatever. I understand, most people don't. And I am certain the victim was killed. The thing that killed the victim was a human. So please, answer me this simple question. Were you the one who killed Elise Donim? No. I'm not the one who took her life. ... Those psycholock things aren't appearing. I suppose that means I can believe she's not lying. Of course, Edgeworth doesn't know about the fact that there's a way to get around the Cyclocks. I can't believe what I'm thinking. And here I just finished saying I don't believe in spiritual power. It appears you can't. That's all you can tell me. Thank you for listening to my story. I visited Wright at the hospital bed before coming here. He asked me to take care of you. Yes, at the trial tomorrow, he asked me to defend you. Mr. Wright has that much faith in you, Mr. Edgeworth, then I will gladly entrust my fate into your capable hands. But before that, I have one question. Do you know Wright? Why would you ask that? Whenever you came up in our conversation, he would act a little... strange. Mr. Edgeworth, what is Wright to you? He's a very dear and indispensable friend. It was 5 years ago. That's when I deceived him. You deceived him. I hear that he was in a lot of pain afterwards because of what happened. Yeah, it probably took a while for the glass and metal to pass, and that was probably a lot of pain. I know what a weak person I am. That's why I thought it was best if he never saw me again. I want to make it very clear that I do not believe her here, okay? I want to make that extremely clear. Not buying it for a second. What I'm not sure of yet is if the game wants me to buy it or not. I want him to forget about me without learning the truth. Well, if you ask me, Wright is still suffering, and until he learns the truth, which is my gimmick, I don't think he will ever be able to truly recover. I am cynical, I will freely admit it, but I do not believe her. She is not presenting her argument in a way that convinces me. Iris, it's not too late. You should go to him and tell him the truth. I'll defend you, but only if you agree to that one condition. Hey, I like that. No, really. I will defend you if you tell him the truth. Very well, I'll do everything in my power to get you an acquittal. Hey, CR King. That's enough information gathered now. I should head to the crime scene. Oh, I forgot to... Sure is cold, alright. So this is it. Dusky Bridge. Oh, wow, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see. Yuck! It's been about a year, or has it been longer? It doesn't matter, Detective. What does matter is why you're shuffling around up here. Oh, ouch. Well, there's a sharp left jam. Well, I'm happy to see you anyway, Mr. Edgeworth. Let me guess. You were transferred by HR to the local precinct. A wise decision. The vast amount of nothing up here should be quite easy to guard. I heard you were back in the country and arranged to come all the way out here. Everybody's real nice. They even let me take charge of the investigation, sir. Gumshoe indeed. Like gum on your shoe, he's impossible to get rid of. I'm supposed to report on the details of the crime scene, sir. Anyway, here I am, Detective Dick Gumshoe, reporting for duty. Great. Thank you, Detective. Thought Prosecutor Godot was going to get here before me. That guy's a real mystery, I tell you. Prosecutor Godot. Well, don't know anything about that. I'm out. Peace! Aw, she's gone. Well, come to think of it, you got thrown in here once too, didn't you, sir? But you know what? I've never been in jail a single time. I should think it's hard to land in jail when you're so harmless. Yeah, well, excuse me, yes, well, if you're in jail, you don't have to pay for your own meals, you know. Don't get any funny ideas, Detective. Too late, I already did. In any case, I guess I'll have to come back later. The guard is staring at me with a puzzled expression on his face. Me and the badge on my lapel. I get the feeling he recognizes me. Ahem, so. Oh, what's that thing doing on your lapel, Mr. Edgeworth? Is it really that odd? You bet it is, sir. Prosecutor wearing a defense attorney's badge? That's like a detective with a license to kill. That's a thing, isn't it? Does this little thing hold that ominous of a meaning? I just got back into the country, so I don't really know much about the case. Simple. Well, simple is as simple does, as they say. Oh, you got no idea how much I miss that biting sarcasm of yours, sir. Yes, it was requested of my biggest supporter to go ahead and do voices for this case, and I don't really have the opportunity to say no, so here we are. But seriously, this one's a piece of cake. There's a witness that saw the whole thing. A witness? Yeah, that bikini lady. Bikini lady? Here, on the freezing cold mountain? Well, you should talk to her yourself if you get the details, sir. I may have to talk to this bikini lady. I mean, decisive witness myself. There's only one person I want to see in a bikini. Oh, righty-poo. So this is the bridge that Wright fell through. Yep. I can't imagine being that reckless myself. Yes, you can. You would totally do the same thing, Gumshoe. Look before you cross is how it goes, right? Or was it leap? And? Is there something on the other side? Yeah, some old building they call the Inner Temple. But we can't go over there without a bridge, and we don't have a helicopter, so... What? But I can just punch in a cheat code right now and spawn a helicopter. Blong. Nobody lives there, so it's usually not a problem. Somebody was at the Inner Temple doing some training, and now they're stuck here. Yes, I heard that from Wright. It's Maya Fey. Oh no, her again. Anyway, the air's really turbulent right now, so we can't do an aerial extraction. No one's going to be able to reach the Inner Temple until tomorrow, sir. We should be alright in this cold. So how did this bridge burn down, anyway? We're almost 100% sure it was lightning. Lightning? Hang on, who is this Prosecutor Godot? I've never heard of him. Yeah, he's a new guy. Showed up after you left the country. He's a complete rookie, but nobody can say a bad word about the guy, other than the fact that he's lost every single case. What kind of a man is he? He just became a prosecutor recently, but he's good, sir. Real good. If he's so good, how is it I've never heard of him? Is he the lead prosecutor on the case? You bet he is. After all, you know who is right in the middle of it. You know who? Yeah, Phoenix Wright, of course. For some reason, Godot's really got it in for Mr. Wright. Oh. Yeah, he seems to have some kind of grudge. And what would be the cause of this grudge? Oh, maybe he made fun of his mask or something. None of this is making any sense. I better look into this Godot myself. You're telling me the bridge caught on fire due to a fluke bolt of lightning? Yup. Saw it during the GIF and everything. Or GIF if you prefer that pronunciation. A little unusual for lightning to occur during a snowfall like that. But according to the weather data, lightning definitely struck. I see. It's a very detailed weather report, which I'm going to go read right now. Snow. Occasional lightning strikes, 7 to approximately 10:50 p.m. Lightning, 10 to approximately 11 p.m. Lightning struck Dusky Bridge at 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the lightning and the fire going out. Listen, I'm just saying, Baron, I said that it's Jiff! Officially. Almost too detailed. It even has the exact time the lightning struck the bridge. Oh, that? Oh, we got that information from the witness's testimony. Someone actually saw lightning hit the bridge. Who is this witness? Oh, sorry. I'll go ask one of the local cops later, sir. Oh, my God. Well, here's a promotion and a raise. Now go away. To the main gate. Scroll down. Yeah, it was this guy. Yo, Edgy, what took... I'm not doing a voice for Larry. I don't have the physical capacity to remove that many brain cells. I'm so cold, my brain's turned to sherbet. I knew it was a mistake to race back to this country. What do you mean? Wright is going to be fine, and the case itself isn't anything unusual. And I find myself taking a request to defend a woman accused of murder. Hey, wait a sec. Hold it. Objection. What's going on here, Mr. Edgeworth? It's hard to explain, but one thing led to another, and what kind of lame excuse is that? You call yourself a defense attorney? Prosecutor Edgeworth's a prosecutor. And that's why he's Prosecutor Edgeworth. Because he's Banjo. Django. Genocidal bear. Prosecutor Edgeworth defense attorney just sounds plain old weird, pal. Right, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I'm not sure what role I'm supposed to be playing anymore. Dude, Edgy, I don't see you for a couple of years and your heart turns to sherbet. I'd say more like sorbet. It is rather cold here. As you can see, even the subscriptions are cold. Cold like a midsummer winter's day. Evening stretching out into the endless abyss of stars, pouring cold sheets of hot iron down upon myself. Lo! I cannot rest until this case is solved and the truth revealed. Thank you very much, Luco. Very much obliged and appreciate as always. Now, I know you're kind of new, so did you know that you can actually put that towards something and increase priority on a future stream? That's true. You are guilty of not putting that sub towards something. The penalty is death by donuts. That sounds pleasant, but trust me, you won't find it pleasant until about, halfway through. Harris didn't murder her. Someone else did it. Hang on, Larry. Hang on. Yep, nope, I do not believe you, sir. Ever the romantic, aren't you, Larry? Nevertheless, I will do whatever I can to prove her innocence. At least until I pass the baton on to Wright, that is. I have to talk to Larry. What is this song? It sounds familiar. Yeah, I was going to say, I've heard a version of this song before, but I've never heard this exact song before. I'm sorry, this is going to bother me. So if you go to lorerunner.com/vault, and you will see a full list there. At the moment, we are not accepting new games onto the list because, as you can see, the list is gargantuan. So the list is locked down. However, you can put it towards anything on that list. If nothing appeals to you in 160 games, then we're doing something wrong. Oh, don't do this to me. Whatever. I'll get back to that later. There's only one way to find out, Goofy Movie. LoreRunner.com/vault. Control F. Bug Fables. Come to think of it, when you were a kid, you were always saying, when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer and defend people, or something like that. That was a long time ago. But see, now you finally got a chance to follow your boyhood dream for a day. Hedgie, you've got to do it. You got to save my little Iris. This is exactly why I hate childhood friends. No, you just hate Larry. And so do I. There are plenty of games on that list that are not AAA, Jovan. I'm telling you, Iris is so cute. You think she's cute too, don't you? What's wrong? Why are you all so quiet? To put it simply, your comment has me highly concerned. Could it be the reason you think she's innocent? Come on, a girl that cute can't possibly be a murderer. Larry. I was right after all. I never should have come back. No, no, don't worry. I see things how they really are this time. Honest. Oh my god. Thank you very, very much, Asuls. Very much appreciate the sub. Thank you, sir. And I'll put that towards Homeworld Cataclysm. Or whatever it's called nowadays. I can't remember, but let's be honest. It's Homeworld Cataclysm. We know what it is. It's the real Homeworld, too. Iris is a delicate flower. You can't force things too much, you know what I mean? Huh? I have no idea what you're talking about, Larry. Oh, forget I said anything. Larry, where were you, and what were you doing on the night of the crime? Larry? What? Tell me. You think I might have done it? Larry, you're a moron, not a murderer. Get lost. Go back to your charter jet and get on my sight, you creep. Hope your plane crashes and you die. I'll ask just one more time. On the night of the murder, where were you and what were you doing? Oh, for God's sakes, not these things again. Sorry, man. You know me. I just don't remember. My short-term memory is a wreck, dude. Very well. As you know, as a prosecutor, I can get away with murder. It's legally allowed. What? And it's like an old-fashioned flintlock, you know, really fancy style gun, because of course Edgeworth would use that kind of gun. Your Honor, I hereby find this man guilty of terminal stupidity. Oh god, yeah, it's actually a plasmid. Okay, so hang on, scroll down a bit. We will just say that Larry committed suicide. Oh. Hey, hello there. How are you feeling? Oh, did it load? There it goes. Where did it go? A little light, I suppose. Well, who's this? My name is Miles Edgeworth. My. A handsome boy like you is always welcome. DQ 1 through 3. You got it. I'm glad to know that at least one game appeals to you on the list. I admit I worry constantly when people are like, I want to add something to the list. And I just look at the list like, is there nothing there you want? Really? If circumstances weren't so tragic, I might just... Please don't kill me, boy. I'm sorry to trouble you. I'm looking for a woman in a bikini. Well, you found her. What can I do for you? I'm sorry, I don't see any bikinis. You ask nicely. I might give you a peek, big boy. Mr. Edgeworth? This is the head nun, Sister Bikini. She's the witness. Why didn't you tell me that earlier? That's exactly why your salary keeps getting cut. My stomach's already growling in protest. So, what's the latest about my beloved Iris? Well, first, I want to hear what you know. But, hang on. Let's do this in the right order. You can put anything towards games, Luca. At this point, you can put Patreon, you can put subs, you can put direct donations, and you can put bits. And donor box, if we want to add that to the list. All of those are put towards games. One way or the other. If people don't specify, it goes into dealer's choice. Some people specifically say, put it towards dealer's choice. I have a fairly large list of dealer's choice. Yes, your tax return is also going towards that. I know it's strange, Cloud of the Stars. You've probably never heard of this, since it's certainly not a thing we've been doing for about 5 months at this point, every day on the 5th. As a reminder, that's going to be, looks like Sunday is that post is going to go live. About this here, what must I say? Well, as you may know, in order to see reality for what it truly is, I strive to break our attachments to much of the transient material realm. I guess you could call me an immaterial girl. I guess she lives in an immaterial world, huh? I will kill all of you. There are more ends or cushions in the corner of the room. Oops, wrong accent. It's the piece of white paper sticking out from under the stack. Oh, beats me. Would you mind checking that for me, Detective Gumshoe? Yes, sir. Here you are, Mr. Edgeworth. It's like an old manila envelope. Yeah. What is it, Detective? This could be it. An ultra-important clue. A super special clue. I suppose I should read it myself, then. Looks like a letter addressed to Sister Iris. Sorry, wrong voice. Looks like a letter addressed to Sister Iris. Tonight at 10 under the Heavenly Hall, unless you want your secret exposed. This sounds like a blackmail letter. Nice going there, Mr. Edgeworth. How can I ever find clues like that? You're an ultra-important prosecutor. Super-duper prosecutor. Well, I suppose it takes a super-duper kind of dumb to miss a clue like this. First, I'd like to ask you about last night. Well, last night we had an acolyte here for training. After dinner, the two of us went to the inner training hall in the inner temple. She must be talking about Maya. Approximately what time was that? I suppose it was about 9 when we left here. Training lasts all night. It's extremely exhausting. The channel and dojo's head nun must be in attendance all times to keep watch. Wow, you're right. That does sound exhausting. Detective, this is no time for flattery. Sorry. Sometime around 11, you witnessed the incident in the courtyard. But your duty in the inner temple. Why did you come back here? Well, you're staring at me. I'm starting to get goosebumps. Ho, 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 ho. I'm starting to get goosebumps myself, but for a decidedly different reason. You get the chills pretty easily, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? Alright then, I'd like you to tell me exactly what you saw in the court. Oh, it must have been past 11. Oh, no, I can't say it. That's too much for my poor heart. Hey, calm down, lady. Let go of my tie. I saw two people. One of them was lying on the ground. The other was stabbing her from the back with a sword. I'm sorry, I'm trying to picture what it would feel like being impaled by a sword with that many spikes on it. Or hooks, or whatever you want to call them. Did you see this criminal with your own eyes? I didn't want to believe what I was seeing. But it was Iris. You must have been quite shocked. Of course she was. Try putting yourself in her shoes. Feel like if you were stabbing Mr. Wright smack in the middle of a courtroom. And I happen to witness it from the witness stand. I'll be pretty shocked too. I know it sounds insane, but that's what I saw. When I finally realized what I was seeing, I screamed. And then I passed out. Unfortunately for us, her testimony seems to be pretty solid. However, the idea of Iris doing such a foul act seems unnatural. Unnatural? Well, the girl I know simply isn't capable of this sort of foulness. I wonder what she means by that. I don't think she killed her. I think she's guilty, but I don't think she killed her. As the head nun, it is your duty to stay with the acolyte at all times, correct? Yep, that's correct. I know I may look strong, but the truth is, I've got a bad lower back. A bad lower back? Yes, it's especially bad in the winter. So bad I can't even lift a bucket. You remember how cold it was last night? Oh, my bad back felt as stiff as frozen grass. Glass, excuse me. Getting Japanese here. I just wanted to take a nice hot bath to ease my aching back. So I returned to the main hall. So you left the disciple all alone? Don't be ridiculous, I'd never do that. That's why I ordered Iris to the inner temple after she had rung the bell for the lights out. Yes, but she never went to the inner temple, did she? So, did this head nun actually see Iris there? I'd better try to get some more details. So who is this acolyte that was sent to train at the inner temple? Her name is Maya Fey. I treated her very badly, I'm ashamed to say. And after she went to the trouble of signing up for a special course. Special course? That's a training session where you sit in a block of spirit ice and chant 30,000 times. You don't mean to tell me she's still over there at the inner temple, do you? No, of course not. You don't have to worry about that one. Little bit. Last night we still hadn't started the training session itself. That's good to hear. Oh dear, there's one thing I forgot to tell you. I don't think I like the sound of this. Do you know that small girl? I believe she's Mystic Maya's little sister. Maya has a little sister. Oh, you mean Little Pearl? That's Maya Fey's cousin. Little Pearl? Yeah, you'd like her, Edgeworth. She's adorable. I thought she was gone to visit Mr. Galice after we finished with dinner cleanup. But I haven't seen her at all since late last night. She's nowhere to be found. You mean she was with the victim? Pearl is not dead. I will alter reality if I have to. She is not dead. She's amazing. Adorable. And Majora's Mask. And thank you. For real, thank you very much, Luco. Oblige the bits. And I put those down towards Majora's Mask. Yeah, where's my Star Destroyer? Hey, yeah, I need a planet-wide scan for Pearl. Mm-hmm. What do you mean it's going to take all day? Oh, whatever. I guess I'll just play the game. It's all the fault of my stupid, cracky old Bach. A little girl who was with the victim on the night of the murder is gone. As they say, the plot thickens. Yes, true. We just used the Gullwing scanner. That only took like 10 minutes. Freaking FF10. I love that game, but God. Okay, so... Courtyard. Scroll down. And this is where the murder took place, sir. Other than removing the body, we left everything untouched, including the skis. Thanks, Detective. I'll just have a look around. Looks like the police are still investigating. Oh, by the way, I thought I'd ask just to be sure. Are you really going to defend that nun, Iris, at the trial tomorrow? Yes, I will. I gave her my word, and I must now follow through with my commitment. Well, in that case, I gotta be extra careful. Gotta make sure I don't leak the prosecution's whole investigation. And don't worry about it, Detective. Just keep your mouth closed, and I think most of it will flow out on its own. You got it, sir! I'll make sure it flows like a water from a tap. I'm actually playing on the Switch. Yes, you do that, Detective. Just how much has your runny sprout leaked over the years? Oh god, this song is driving me nuts. And I'm not taking a break today, so I don't have a chance to check this out today. Oh, that's gonna drive me insane. Whatever. I'm gonna have to go through it manually. I know I've heard another version of this song, and it's gonna bug me until I find it. But I'll do that later. I'll do that later. I got work to do. Okay, what am I doing? Let's add the statue. So, the sword from this gold statue is actually the murder weapon. Sure is. It's called a Shishishitsu, by the way. Nasty piece of work, sir. There's still blood on it. I suppose this is the victim's blood? Yep, it's all over the blade. Speaking of all over the blade, there are fingerprints all over the hilt of this thing, too. Fingerprints. Naturally, they match the prints we got from the younger nun, the defendant. The fingerprints are on the murder weapon? What's wrong? You're looking really solemn. Is this how it is for right? Is this what it's like to be a defense attorney? Yeah, I figure it doesn't feel really good. To be honest, it feels more like it's detrimental to your health. Welcome to the other side, Edgeworth. What's this? It looks like a wizard's staff. Oh, that belongs to the victim, Miss Elise Denim. There's nothing strange or magical about it, except for the fact that it's missing the amethyst. Oh yeah, listen, this is just between us, okay, sir? Yes, what? This is top secret stuff. Don't tell anybody about this. Alright. Truth is, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a wizard. You are not a wizard, Harry. That's it. That's what you wanted to tell me. That's it. This staff was made from a very strong kind of wood. What about fingerprints? Were there any on it? Just the victims. That is vitally important information. He's a squib. The victim is famous picture book author Miss Elise Denim. Her entire past, up until she won that writing award last year, is a total mystery. It's hard to believe in this day and age you can still find people like that. The estimated time of death of the victim was between 10 and 11 p.m. on February 7th. Cause of death was blood loss, resulting from a stab in the back by the murder weapon. The murder weapon. The victim was found skewered with a giant sword, sir. That's terrible. Yeah, but there's one strange thing. Yes, the victim's entire body was covered with bruises. The bruises are consistent with falling from the height of a 2-story building. A two-story building. That would be about the same height as the room in front of us, correct? Hey, you're right. Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth. That just happens to be the room she was staying in. Maybe she was pushed out of the window after she was stabbed by the sword. Now then, Detective. Let's see if we can summarize what we've learned so far. Okay. Let me take a look at the map. According to the testimony of Sister Bikini, the head nun, right after they'd finished dinner, she and Maya Fey headed to the inner temple. Doop 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 doop. At 10 p.m., after ringing the bell for lights out, Iris went to the inner temple, where she murdered everybody. Yuck! When she got there, Bikini had to take over while she went back to Hazakura Temple. After taking a hot bath to soothe her back, Sister Bikini witnessed the murder in the courtyard. If you want more details, you should ask Bikini herself in the main hall. The inner temple. I'd like more information about that place. The trial begins tomorrow, but here's the prosecutor. I'm pretty sure it's that Godot guy, but nobody can get a hold of him, so they're looking for a replacement. What do you mean? It's really weird. All of a sudden, no one can reach him. I wonder if the rumors are true. Maybe since Mr. Rat caught a cold and won't be defending, he just lost interest. I intend to appear in court in the role of defense's attorney. However, I would be quite unhappy if it came out I'm actually a prosecutor. Yeah, I can see why, but I'm not the one you have to worry about. I think the real problem is going to be that judge. Yes, he certainly would remember my face even after such a long absence. That's why I requested another judge preside over the trial tomorrow. We've only met each other once. There's a good chance he won't remember me at all. Yeah, but what about the prosecutor? Everyone in the prosecutor's office must know you. Would it be a problem if someone made a big stink, sir? There's no need to worry. I pulled a few strings and arranged for a prosecutor of my own choosing. Francisco. I had no idea you had such powerful string to pull. Really? Were you not paying attention during the first game? What is this inner temple that Maya was supposedly training at? According to Bikini, it's an old building they use for training the acolytes. It's on the other side of Disco Bridge. The bridge that burned down. Is there anything else on the other side of that bridge besides the inner temple? Nope, not a thing. Nothing. The other side's surrounded by cliffs on all sides. In a way, it's kind of like a little island out there. So the only thing there is the inner temple. I hear it's not the kind of place a person could survive in. Please be alright, Maya. Yeah, no kidding. Don't see Larry anywhere. Maybe we scared the poor kid away. His heart was shut tight with a number of psycho locks. I guess I'll have to look for him now. What a thorn in my side. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth. I came back because I needed to ask you a few more questions, if you don't mind. But I've already told you everything that Iris, please remember. I'm on your side. You can tell me anything, including the fact that you are secretly the murderer. Yes, thank you. Whip. Okay, whatever. As with everything, it depends on the specific instance, Zilok. But I do have to admit, that is part of the negative I've already given the game to gameplay, so... Although I should write that down, because you are correct in that I do not have that in my notes. And we'll put it here. You'll notice in several instances, the connecting points make absolutely no sense. Like, I have to go to the detention center to get to the bridge to get to the hall. There's worse, but I don't remember specifics, so please forgive me. Since I have been handled this case, it is my duty to dig up all the answers, understand? Yes, sir. The smallest flame can sometimes bathe a case in a whole new light. In my years in court, I've seen it happen over and over again. That's why I'm committed to searching until I have those answers. Now then, is it really... Yeah, exactly, Zalok. Is it really true that you didn't go to the inner temple last night? Yes, I swear. I already told you that. Yes, you said because you didn't go because you were frightened. If that's the case, then the obvious question is, what were you so afraid of? Iris, I wonder, is this what frightened you so much? I like his take that. I think it's the first time I've heard that. I found this in the main hall. It is addressed to you. That's... Well, Iris. Why are you glaring at me like that? You were scared of the blackmailer who wrote this to you. Is that correct? As an aside, I absolutely love that he has never been affected by her charms. That was even true in the past when he first interacted with her. I only point it out because there's this extremely small list of people who are not affected by her charms. In fact, I think it's literally 3. Mia, Godot, and Edgeworth. It was the evidence of the power of my glare that broke that lock.
Of course you follow me. They all do.
I suppose it doesn't matter either way. But, Mr. Edgeworth... Yes... I thought that letter was just someone playing a prank on me. A prank? Well, yes, after all, even if I did have a secret, there's no one to tell that it would cause me any grief. I wonder about that. Sister Bikini is like a mother to me. I would never hide anything from her, except for my evil past and also all the murders. Thank you, Dark Horse Run. Thank you very, very much, sir, for your support. As always, appreciated and obliged. Thank you, sir. I've noticed a lot of people are putting things toward VTMB1. We're going to have to talk about that literally next lore week at this rate. Because that's going to get into lockdown list, too. There's only one way to find out, von Falkenstein, because I don't remember. No, you may not have anything to hide under normal circumstances. However, last night was different. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact nature of your secret yet. However, whatever it is, there's one person you didn't want your secret told to.
Take that!
Phoenix Wright. You mean something to Wright, it seems. And I can tell he holds a special place in your heart as well. That's why you didn't want him, of all people, to know your deep, dark secret. Well, what do you have to say? I should have expected as much, especially from a friend of his. Chikonko. After dinner, this letter was waiting for me in my room. As I said, I was frightened by it. What is this heavenly hole the letter mentions? It's a small mountain shack at the base of Dusky Bridge. A small shack, huh? It's more like a broken down shack that no one would ever want to go near.
Oh, welcome. Pay close attention. Hopefully you'll learn something.
Where is it on this map? It's around here. To get there, you must follow a small path down from the dusky bridge. The reality is, to get to the inner temple, I had no choice but to cross that bridge. You think that's surprising for Falkenstein? Mass Effect isn't even on that list. But the thought that such a terrible criminal could be lurking in Heavenly Hall... I was so scared by the whole affair I didn't even want to think about it. So this is the secret that you had locked away in your heart. Yes. Looks as though I may have to visit this Heavenly Hall now. Maybe I'll find some sign of our mystery blackmailer. See, I disagree, Django. But that's just me. After all, I've never reviewed Mass Effect. But I know I'm the only one who that actually matters to, so...
Of course you follow.
Would you stop?
They all do.
God damn it, people. Thank you, Goofy Movie. Very much appreciate your support, sir. You don't watch my streams at all, Django. Your opinion doesn't matter on this point. Thank you very, very much, Salok. Very, very much obliged and appreciated. Thank you very much, sir. I was actually wondering why the unusual amount. What? Oh, there we go. That was really weird. Yeah, you still need to play Andromeda, don't you, Django? In any case, you still claim to have never left your room last night. Yes, that's exactly right. The trial starts tomorrow. I promise you I will win. I'm going to win so that you and Phoenix Wright can see each other again, and then he can murder you horribly and terribly, as you deserve. But when I do, you must promise me you will tell him your secret. Actually, I gotta be honest, Edgeworth, I'd demand you tell him now. Like, I'll hold up the tape recorder. There you go. But it's pointless. Why would you say that? Because I may know who Phoenix Wright is, but he has no idea who I am. I just finished speaking with the head nun of Hazakura Temple. She testified very clearly as to what happened. She said she saw you stab Miss Elise Dunim with a sword. And no one... losing it. There we go. And one other thing. She said that when Maya Fey began her training at the Inner Temple, you were there as well. When I spoke with you last, you claimed you never went to the Inner Temple. And yet, Sister Bikini says she met with you at the Inner Temple that very night. But I didn't go there. I didn't go to the Inner Temple last night. I definitely believe you. As a point of curiosity, consider this a survey. I'm going to set up a poll really quick. Please answer honestly without bias. Or be destroyed. Both are acceptable. There we go. Poll's up. What the hell is with those pictures? And did he keep the frickin' flags? Whoa, not much of a view down here, huh? Still better than the view from my apartment, though. Never even heard of it, Don Crow. Someone's here. Hide yourself, detective. Why does this always happen? Whenever I find a girl I like, they always run away. They even chased one of them to Japan. Next is going to be prison, I guess. Fair job, then. I'll steal that detective's wallet. That'll get me locked up for sure. Nah, I can't do it to someone who looks like he's down on his luck. He's just talking to himself. Shh. Be quiet and listen. I knew it. I shouldn't have done it again. I know I shouldn't have done that. I blew it again. However you want to take it, Ice Frost. I left it vague on purpose. I got an objection. Edgy, you dirty rat. Gumshoe, you oaf. I'm sorry, sir. Before I knew it, I was shouting objection. In a loud, commanding voice, too. I even pointed with my finger. You've watched too many trials. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Larry, the jig is up. What have you got to say for yourself? I have, actually, Melkor. Although, not officially, but yes. What? What is this festive-looking ornament? It reminds me of our class in grade school. We used to have a lot of fun decorating a classroom with origami, remember? Well, oh yeah, you were never any good at it. Really? Yeah, this guy was so bad he couldn't even fold $1, let alone a crane. Everyone tried to comfort him, but he would just sit there sobbing. Oh, really? I never would expect it. Be quiet already. I'll never forget the shame of that day. You wanted a crane. I can now make a perfect quarter-inch crane without a single flaw. You know, Edgy, nothing for nothing, but a quarter-inch crane without a single flaw is not easy. Yeah, that's quite a feat, Prosecutor Edgeworth. This is exactly why I hate childhood friends. God, I don't have any childhood friends. It just occurred to me. Not anymore. Not for about 20 years or so. What is this little shack, anyway? Well, just discovered it myself. Thank you, everyone, for voting. For those who were interested, or well, weren't. Like I said, it was more for my own curiosity than anything else. I mean, I could explain, but you guys don't want me to do that, so I'm just going to keep reading. Why were you down here in the first place? Come on, I'm an artist. I was looking for a good place to sketch. It's a great little place. It's, artistic. It's quiet, cold, it's got no power. It looks like it's about to collapse. I know there's the starving artist thing, but you're taking it a little far there, Larry. Now, that being said, I do have friends I've had for literally 20 years at this point. 2 of them, actually. When I say 20, I mean it's actually closer to 21, but I'm not sure of the exact date, like time in the year. So I just kind of count from, you know, late 90s and late 99, excuse me, up to now. He's getting all buddy-buddy on us, sir. I mean, I was leaving high school and entering college when I met these 2 people. So, yeah, no, not childhood. Listen to me, Edgy. You gotta do this. You gotta save Iris. You can't tell me that Edgeworth wouldn't look cool, just kind of posing. He's got the gun, you know, the old-style flintlock, and he's just kind of posing with his chin. I'm afraid, Larry, that your time has run out. Why are you so sure she's innocent? Is it because she's cute? It's your mouth. Anyway, I've made up my mind about it. I'm gonna marry that girl. Mr. Edgeworth is pretending he didn't hear you, so I'm gonna ask for him. Have you already asked the girl that'll marry you? No, not yet, but I can tell how she feels by the look in her murderous, evil, demonic eyes. She's got this, I really want this man to carry me over the threshold look. You never imagined I could marry such a beautiful girl like that. Something tells me he would be shocked indeed. That's why I didn't want her to do anything dangerous. I mean, what am I gonna do if she gets hurt? What is this guy trying to say? He lost me about a mile back. If we really want to know the answer to that, we're going to have to drag him to the witness stand. Come to think of it, you still haven't answered my question. Where were you, and what were you doing last night? Oh man. Don't you have anything else to talk about? With that kind of attitude, you'll never be a ladies' man like me. Well, thank God for small favors. Now answer my damned question. What he just said in response to that was, okay, chill out with those scary eyes, I've got it. If you want to know, last night, I saw something incredible. Something incredible. But you're not going to tell me because you're stupid. Got it. Yeah, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the good old days. Come on, I'll pour you a nice cup of hot water. Why hasn't he realized that I absolutely despise talking about the good old days, especially with him? Fortunately, we have enough to do it now. We haven't saved in a bit, so let's do that.
Take that!
Alright. Now you're going to tell me what you really saw last night. Whoa, you're really upset, aren't you, Edgy? Okay, I'll talk. Huh? That was a bit too easy. Yeah, anyways, it was awesome. Never seen anything like it. Around 10 last night, it started thundering. I've been sleeping, but I'm not sure how long. Suddenly, zing, the world went white in front of me. Like I'd been slapped in the face by my old girlfriend, Naomi. And then... You're kidding, Carwelos. And then it was on fire! The bridge was on fire! The dusky bridge caught on fire. You saying you saw it with your own eyes. Hey, why are you giving me the evil eye? I'm telling the truth. There's still 3 psycho-locks remaining. That means... unlimited power! By the way, Larry, where were you when you saw that happen? Where, you say? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? Answer the question. I was in my own room in the main hall. Where else would I be? As usual, you're transparent as an empty jelly jar. The problem, I suspect, lies there. There? Where? What do you mean, there? It's impossible for you to see lightning strike the dusty bridge from your room.
Take that!
This is a map of the area. Take a look around the vicinity of the Hazakura Temple. What am I looking for? I think that should be fairly obvious. The main hall is surrounded by trees, and it's impossible to see the bridge from there. Why didn't you tell me that before? Really? 1 year ago. Well, how about it? About what? Do you feel like talking now? About what? It looks like it won't be easy after all. You leave me no choice. I'll have to move on to the next step. You weren't in your room at the temple, so then where were you? You don't know that I was in my room? So where was Larry, and why was he there? If I've read the situation up to this point correctly, the answer is fairly obvious. Very well, let's test my theory. The place you witnessed the striking was... from your dirty, terrible shack. The place you saw the lightning strike was from was naturally Heavenly Hall. Why would I be hanging out in this old shack? It's freezing cold, there's no electricity, it could fall apart at any minute. Larry, how do you know that, anyway? How do you know there's no electricity? And after all, it's not that dark yet. In other words, you have just provided evidence to prove my theory. My theory that you've at least once in your life visited Heavenly Hall after sunset. I feel bad about breaking all these DSs. I have to admit I'm impressed, Edgy. You're in a totally different league from Nick. That's nice. Now tell me, what were you doing at this cold little shack last night? Well, that's what you might call a fair decor. I think you mean a fair decor. Could it be you were waiting for someone? Oh no! You really are one scary guy, you know? I believe the last night you were waiting for this person to come wait for you. There's only one person you'd wait for in a horrible place like this, Larry. I told you before, don't call me Larry. The person you were waiting for was Iris. Oh, suddenly I feel cold all over, Reggie. No doubt because of my chilly glare. I think I got the hots for Sister Iris, huh? you have some kind of evidence? You're a moron. This is where I draw the line and end this ridiculous little game.
Take that!
Here's your evidence. You called her to the spot with a pathetic blackmail letter.
Give that back. You're embarrassing me. What are you doing with that anyway?
That's not important. I misjudged you, Larry. Taking advantage of a woman's frailty like that. You should be ashamed of yourself. First of all, what's at the top of the letter? It says, salutation here.
Well, that's what it said in the book, Letter Writing for Dummies.
You're not supposed to actually write that. That's where you're supposed to write, Dear Iris.
I'm so sorry.
Not sorry enough. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I submit that Larry Butts is terminally stupid and therefore should be treated as any terminal case should be. All joking aside, that was actually a good joke. That's probably the first time anything about Larry has actually made me laugh. So you were here in Heavenly Hall last night, weren't you, Larry? And you saw the lightning hit Dusky Bridge, didn't you?
Sorry, Edgy.
Sorry doesn't cuz it, you scumbag, threatening a young lady like that. Oh. Wait, hold up. What now, pal? What are you talking about? What threatening stuff? I'll tell you what, you tried to scare Iris by threatening to expose her secret, pal. What do you mean threaten? When did I threaten her? Oh, Melissa, you want your secret to be exposed? Sure sounds like a threat to me, pal. Blackmail, in fact. You're under arrest. Give me a break, it's a love letter. Haven't you ever been in love? What did you just say? My love for her burned so hotly it could melt all the snow on the mountain. Then what is the secret you mentioned? Come on, Edgy. Don't you get it? I'm talking about the secret love between her and me. Obviously, she wouldn't want Old Lady Bikini to know about it, right? About our hot and sour, bittersweet love affair. You have got to be kidding me. You just threatened a woman who is hiding from multiple homicides to threaten to expose her big secret, which you presume in your colossal idiocy to be her secret love for you. Ugh, God. Ugh. I'm having trouble processing how stupid you are. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm afraid I must condemn Larry Butts to eternity with an inside Frostmourne. I'm afraid there is no other possible solution to this disgusting stain on humanity. Any objections? Why did you send a love letter in a business-like manila envelope?
Give me a break. It's not my fault I don't have any other envelopes.
Yes. Yes, it is your fault.
Why were you so quick to apologize, pal?
It's because Edgy gave me the scary look of his. What's wrong, Edgy? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? That's it? That's what all those huge locks were about? I don't understand why you were so defensive.
I don't know either. I guess the thing is, you shouldn't expect too much from a guy like me.
Hey, Larry. There's a mermaid in that water over there, but she only shows up if you keep your head below the water for a long period of time. I hear she's gorgeous. And single.
Justified homicide. Mr. Edgeworth, this guy is still hiding something. I know it. What do you mean, detective? Don't forget what this guy said a minute ago. If you don't want to know, I saw something incredible. He's right. Larry, you're looking at me like that hungry dog that just found a bone. Listen, I'm just saying that killing him... That's true, it would be suicide by stupidity. I mean, it's not really murder if you just are removing the trash. I can't even do that one with a straight face. That's horrible. What was this something incredible you saw last night? You're going to tell me, Larry. One way or another. I already told you, didn't I? I saw lightning strike the bridge. Yes, and I believe that was the incredible sight you saw. But now that I think about it, something doesn't quite ring true. If that's all there is to your story, your heart would have had all those locks. Therefore, Larry, I believe you saw something last night. Something more incredible than lightning. When? Where? Why? How? Hey, what do you think you're doing? If you hide anything from Mr. Edgeworth, I'll arrest you on the spot, pal. Yuck. Oh, hey. No. What's wrong, sir? Does this mean I have to do it all over again? Why are you glaring at me like I'm sitting next to be hit by a lightning bolt? I've just about had it with this Harlequin. If I really want to drag the truth out of him, I'll have to drag him to the witness stand. Oh, we're up to a trial now. Screw it. You're under arrest for not talking to me. What? Oh my, Mr. Lurice feels that way about me? Of course. Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed. Sorry, it's just I'm hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Worry not, I'm sure you're totally not accustomed to men throwing themselves at you left and right because they're stupid. Mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Lurice is the witness today? No, I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini. She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Denim, correct? That's correct, it wasn't me. Very well, then. Mr. Edgeworth, you're a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed, don't worry. I've made the necessary arrangements. Iris, it's a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people and believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth, I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task to which I have been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. I like how they're dragging out the suspense of who the prosecutor is. Court is now in session, eh? The defense is ready, Your Honor. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. Not sure I like such a blatant... Is he not sure about anything? An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It seems the case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I'm ready to announce my verdict at this time.
Your dedication will be rewarded.
Lorishok. Thank you very much, Indiana Joe. Appreciate and obliged, as always. Thank you, sir. I'll put that towards KOTOR 2. Another game people have no problems with me streaming again. And you are? It's probably because it's more noticeable. I've noticed that games that are already towards the top of the list tend to get more attention, and therefore more donations. Franziska von Karma, prosecuting Prodigy. Perchance you wouldn't be any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma, who was incredibly guilty of murder. Legends are a thing of the past. I'm a von Karma, that is all. On special request, I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case. You must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, I'm Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain I've seen you before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you're imagining things, Your Honor. Ms. von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as this man amongst those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't? Ah! I told you, no such weaklings. What is that, a whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip, but... I have no objection to the whip. You don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee, but there is still only one truth, and that is what I stand to prove today. Promises to be interesting. Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today, but looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you to slip between my fingers. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Eh? Ah! Stage is set. I'll continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well, Miss von Karma. Please give an outline of this case. As little whippings as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author Miss Elise Denim. Her body was found in the Hazuka Temple courtyard. Yeah, I've been meaning to ask since I saw the very first picture, how the hell did she get impaled on a sword that is currently stuck in a frickin' statue's hand? Like, there's so many things about that that don't line up. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. She no-clipped up and was like, what? She removed no-clip at the wrong time. The sword in question is the weapon in this picture, correct? Very well. Court accepts this photo of the crime scene. There's no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there's a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring the witness to the stand. So it begins. My first and last trial. As a defense attorney, which I will never do again. Ever, ever, ever. Does he in his game? And that's why she's a dwarf. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold it there. I'm not sure about being sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain-plagued witnesses. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. That's not really my point, though, Max Time. Like, okay. So let's assume she's dead by something other than sword, right? So she's dead, So you move her corpse over, and then you have the problem of trying to impale her on the sword while getting the sword snapped into the statue's hand at the same time. Like, I'm not saying that's impossible, but that is a hell of a feat, you know? Anyways. Little old me, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. Oh, I've lost my accent. Ah. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once. Half the people leave the room. You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis on the twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in the summer. I mean, you're right, Max Time. It's just... No, Java, no... Okay. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place in the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way my dear little Iris could do anything like that. She's super amazing and perfect in every way. See what you have to say, then. First, tell us about your movements of the night, eh? That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the other temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So, I left Iris to help the acolyte, and returned to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a nice long soak. Completely naked. Wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. It was after I'd finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it. So it's simply coincidence you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I'd have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There's only one problem I can see with this testimony. And you're not about to fall for the first hurdle now, are you, Miles Edgeworth? Please begin your cross-examination.
Hold it!
What is this in a temple? Oh, yes, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? We'll be the ones asking the questions, madam. In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There is a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. And how exactly do you help with this process? It's all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip, in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple where the murder took place? Actually, I've been thinking about this. This seems more like having a spotter in weightlifting, the way she's been describing it.
Hold it!
Violently? Oh, that's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in the winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and a fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right, raging like a bull in a pig pen. Almost fainted once or twice. I just knew unless I warmed up, it was going to finally finish me off. So I left Iris to help the acolyte. You left Iris to help? With what? What do you think? The acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 PM, so we were starting to enter into training exercises proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolytes so they don't pass away. See? Like a spotter. Just to confirm this point again. That night, you met Iris in the inner temple, correct? Yes, yes. She's a gentle, honest girl. She has never once failed to follow my directions. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see. So you returned to the Hazakura Temple in order to take a bath. My back is to blame for everything. It's a do or be done in kind of world, after all. How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind my asking? My, what a filthy little rogue you are. I know what's on your mind. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? Oh, this is why you have to watch the young ones. What are you going on about? Oh my god, she actually whipped him. Pathetic Miles Edgeworth. The lowest of the low. If there's some kind of kick me sign stuck to the defense's bench, that would explain a lot. Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for so long, you understand.
Hold it!
The crime took place in the courtyard, correct? When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. No complicated setup in this case. There's indeed only one problem with this testimony. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on the power of observation and memory, after all. Well, don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. Head honcho. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all.
Objection!
Yes, it is, Velvetrix. I mean, I'm also not reading that far ahead. In fact, I know I can't prove this, but my microphone stand is right here, and that's the monitor I have the walkthrough up on, so I literally can't see the lower half of the screen because the microphone stand's in the way. I mean, I could, like, see through it, but you know what I'm talking about. At a glance, I couldn't read it. Who's more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. It kind of does, Dakota. But that's odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. No, she really doesn't. All people lie. That is my belief. Even me! Why am I the one being whipped here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie, which means you must call your memory into question. Dear, you're older than me and you want to play that game, do you? Well, that isn't exactly what My memory's perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Yeah, we haven't heard that on this witness stand in this game recently. I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you're going to question the memory, you need to show me a decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. Please add the comments about Iris to your testimony. Let's return to cross-examination. That night I was helping an acolyte. As you can see, Iris came to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner.
Objection!
Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, is she wearing this demon-warding hood, correct? Of course. It's a very important piece of clothing I have, you know. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Order, order! Ah! Sister, this hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. A stockpile, a surplus of hoods. Each nun is only given one hood. This should have been the only hood that Iris owned. It's quite strange. Ah! If there was a surplus of hoods, she could have worn one of those. There's no contradiction here. Sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as these will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony to doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after you finished your bath on the way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. Stimulation from Tizara.